previous quarter, year over year.
Sir.
I mean, you have to stay forward-looking with these names, and I think that you have the ability to take advantage of them in the near future, that's for sure, especially once they start to turn a profit.
All right. Adara, you want to chime in here on QBTS, or?
All I will say is I noticed that there's kind of a pattern where QBTS and RGCI of the stocks in this space tend to trade more in tandem. QUBT and IONQ tend to trade more in tandem. I did an infographic on this. You can check it out on X at TTV Research. I apologize, I don't have it up on the screen right now. But when I did the research for that, that's when I realized this. So yeah, interesting little thing to note. RGCI and QBTS pairs trade, QUBT, IONQ pairs trade. Maybe complete hogwash, but the last couple months we have noticed, I would say RGTI and Rigetti and D-Wave have had similar moves in terms of the direction and the speed, the intensity of the move, and then QUBT and IONQ the same thing. But take that with a grain of salt if you want. It's just one pattern I kind of noticed there. All
right, guys, it is, oh, you see that? We got 6 minutes in the bank there, eh? That's not too bad.
We'll take it.
All right, well, they gave us 25 minutes last time, though, but they were trading.
They gave us 25 minutes?
Remember, they went over 25 minutes with KO?
KO?
Kevin O'Leary.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Forget
that's
about
fair.
that or what, man? I'm defending them here. Oh, boy.
Legit.
All right, guys, the big boys are that way. I'll see everybody shortly at the green screen. Make sure to vote, guys, and Joey and I will be back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm just going to quickly, as people roll back in, I'm just going to point out every single time on a Fed day, we come 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
So if you bank that every single Fed rate decision, there's just a little bit of extra time. So, you know, but the beauty of it, though, and one of the beauties of, there's a lot of great things, I think, obviously, about Trader TV, is we're not some broadcast TV. Like just because 2 o'clock hits, you don't have to flip the script. And the only times where you know exactly what we're going to be doing is at 9:30 and at 4 o'clock, right? Like at 9:30, the market opens up, and you have a general idea that's exactly when the bell gets rung and all that nonsense. But other than that, who cares? Like, you don't know when Fly is going to pop off. I'm glad I actually went for a walk, so I'm glad I didn't tempt myself into taking this IPO. It just doesn't smell right. I think we're going to be excited for next week with Peter Thiel's bullish. Probably I'm going to assume it's on Thursday because all the big IPOs come in on the Thursdays. I don't like what happened to the market, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. If I'm going to be cute with it, Nasdaq has just been slowly, grindingly, programmingly trending down and taking all day to go red. And this was on the heels of the difference in earnings from, like, we had a bunch of gap ups, 10, 15, 20%. Like, a lot of things looked really good, and now they're all starting to pull back. Some things are holding up better than others. Apple up 3%, still looking pretty good. AMD still up 5%. Nvidia technically is green, but it's been trending down and giving up the entire move. So, yeah, it started out looking so bullish today. It really, overall, only a few things are holding up in that regard, even the big earnings names.
Yeah, this week these boys got more in the bank than us, if you know what I'm saying. I think. Oh, here we go. Nice move to the downside. No, nothing. I was looking at Fly there again.
Broke again.
Yeah, I know, it's down to 62 and change.
Unbelievable.
I'm not like super excited about it, but at the same time, I do think that, you know, every IPO is a little different than the next. And I mean, I posted on my Twitter account there, you know, what we had sort of done there with Fly and you know, how we looked at it. And it was just in and out. We took the opening print at $70, and the minute it didn't go higher, we got out. We were able to get out at, I told Neil, 69.25, looks like 69.20s or so. We just punched out immediately. We didn't have much time to punch out at all. The minute it didn't go up, that's it. To me, that's the end of that story. But we're really lucky that we have such a platform here where you can execute real quick. And I mean, if I don't get out right there, then it goes from 70 all the way down to $60. So it's like, that's a $10 move in the first couple seconds. Neil has a 5-second chart that he's going to show in a little bit of time there. But yeah, huge move to the up, huge move down, and then you know, right back up, does wind up halting there, and now we're back at those lows. So yeah, not every IPO is the same, and like Adara mentioned there, Peter Thiel, you got to have a little bit of hype behind it. And I know Fly did have a little bit, and it's still a nice one if you're an early investor, but definitely not the same trajectory as we've seen many other names. So yeah, so far. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. That what's up, Passport Chaos, and everybody else out here. That's why I talk about this in a way that only we can trade. Like, it's Ray. He said something about how, oh, right here, that's a trade only a prop trader makes. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So,
I'm going to show, because I'll show you what really happened here. If you're not on a prop desk, and you don't have access to all the keys and all the gateways and just being able to be super fast on fly on a 5-second chart, like this thing opens up. Like Sean got out at 69. I decided I didn't want to take it. And I would have had exactly the same fate. Maybe there'd be a small difference in like where you exactly get to fill. But you're in the first 5-second candle slams to 68.35, and then it does come back. So there's some liquidity. Then it slams to 68. So if you're out at 69, you basically think about it. You lost $1 on that open trade. You crushed it relative to everything else that you see. Because I think if you're too slow or just have any kind of a delay, reasonably, that's $2 at best in the first few seconds, and if you hold on to it, it's nasty. The other side to this coin, as we were sort of saying, is there's no chance that you can have IPO halt up free money, IPO halt up free money, without there being something that does this, right? So both IPOs, the other one was WIFY or something? IFY, WI.
Wifey?
Something like that. Is it WYI? WYFI. There you go. This was arguably worse. I
can't wait till Sharif marries Sydney Sweeney and I get invited to their wedding.
That'd be legit.
Sharif and Sydney Sweeney.
That'd be legit.
There we go. There we go.
Is that what's happening?
I just heard
it down?
We were both singing the wifey song.
Do I get married? Sorry, did I get invited?
Is there something you want to tell us, Neil?
Oh, no.
Is everything all right there, Neil?
I was about to say one thing, and then you know when you start saying another? Anyways, no.
I can't wait to get invited to Joey Only's wedding over there.
I'm just excited to actually know people that they're at the age they might get married again. That's what I'm excited about.
It is happening, Joe.
I'm into a wedding in forever.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get this going over here.
I'm not going to the club anymore.
Andre, you already married or what?
Dance floor.
Oh, damn you, Andre.
Andre's wholesome.
Damn you, Andre.
Assassino is as wholesome, trust me, like that.
How do you know how wholesome he is? Exactly.
The guy's straight and narrow, man.
Okay.
He's straight and narrow. It's a straight and narrow family man right there.
Okay, well, I'm glad you know that. I have no idea. Assassino, I have no idea about your personal life.
The whole Assassino moniker is nonsense. He is probably the most chill person.
Wow, something that happens is around here is nonsense? Are you kidding me?
He's easily the most chill person you'll find here. Easily.
Okay, easily. I would say Fabian is.
The reason I call him Assassino, Neil, is...
He said...
No, I think you have to anyway.
All right.
You're muted, apparently.
Am I? Oh, my bad. The reason I call him Assassino is because one time, Gigi Buffon, who used to be a defender for Juventus, you know who he is, Italian guy over here.
I know Buffon.
He called Ronaldo an assassin. Why did he call him an assassin? They asked him, Neil, they're like, well, why'd you call him that? Because he's excellent at executing what he does.
Right.
And that guy is excellent at executing what he does. That's why I call him an assassin.
Okay, so the context matters. Context matters.
I mean, why else did we think he was calling him an assassin?
I didn't know. I mean,
apparently he's the most wholesome guy you'll ever run into.
No, he's very chill.
Yeah, so there we go. Shout out to wholesomeness.
Everyone around here. I mean, I'm still Team Ram Ram overall in a general sense, but you know.
Exactly. Keep her name out of your mouth, she just said.
I just said I'm Team Ram Ram, and Ramin goes, yo, why is my name coming into this? Yeah. I can't even, oh my goodness. Damn.
All right.
Can't even compliment.
No, you cannot, man. This is crazy around here.
What are we talking about? Let's find out.
If you would have said "get it, Ram Ram," maybe you might have been able to get
it, Ramin.
There we go.
Is that okay?
Still not okay, but you might as well say it. Okay, so we're getting ready to go, man. This should be a good one the rest of the afternoon. We do have some earnings coming through. The market is really starting to head to the south side right now. And I don't know what else sparked all of this, but if you just look here at the Nasdaq, it's just watching that 50-period moving average just continue to push this thing lower and lower and lower. And it's not even that bad. I mean, the Nasdaq's down 0.28. It's been a minute since we've even had a red day. So we'll wait to, I mean, we had last Thursday and Friday, but it feels really good the last couple days. And then now you're finally starting to give just a little bit back. So yeah, all is well over here. I hope you guys have enjoyed the midday show with the Bash Bros. And then we'll, get going now with two boring old guys like me and Neil. But then we have another one over there at the screen with Sharif. Not that he's boring and old. he's definitely not boring.
He's kind of
all right. What's up, Sharif?
Neil's just dunking on me today. Oh, I am, yeah, of course. Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, guys, a show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys are in a good mood. We're all in a good mood when they're locked, they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers up there, get into the chat and vote for them every day. Throw in that $ followed by your ticker. Automatically registers. Here's a look at all 4 major averages, and all 4 major averages are in negative territory, starting with the NQ on the top left of your screen, down 0.29% on the bottom left of your screen. The Russell 2000, the IWM, down 0.4%, 0.8. The ES faring a little worse than the NQ today, down 0.5%, with the Dow also down 0.8%, so much of the same look as the IWM. Here's the first ticker as decided by you. AMD reported earnings a couple of nights ago, and it was a sell the move type of event, recovering a little bit today. Looks like Kathy Wood, boys, picked up about $38 million worth of AMD, and she dumped some of Palantir and Shopify at the highs.
Yeah, so we
How
went...
much did she say? 38 million?
Okay, we went with AMD straight from the jump. I mean, it was one of our big trades. It's right there. It's on the sticky note. We'll talk about all of these as we go, but right there, it's 167 long. These plays are only good for the open, and then we see what happens in the first half hour or so. But there goes AMD, and there it is. So there's 167.50 twice. Long, and boom goes the dynamite to the upside. It's an absolutely monster trade, and I always wish that we don't scalp out so quickly, but I never have any idea where they're going. Thing is, these are 168.50, so that's like $1 right there. As you go higher, 172. These are 173s. That's $6. Like this stock, again, an absolute monster to the high side. And I think it continues, man. It's a day 2 play. They were beat up a little bit yesterday. We saw Google bounce back. They had a good report. They fell down the day of the report, battled themselves back. And I just feel like AMD did have similar properties to that yesterday when we had the move down and then the battle back. So today when we opened up near this area, I just wanted to get long. There's the break of the pre-market. The rest, as they say, is history, right? Traders got to trade. This is by far the largest name, P&L name here on the desk today, and it's AMD, and it's a monster. So, yeah, I really, again, like the stock. I think it has a good runway now moving forward, and now that earnings are behind it, we just move forward with it. So that's it. That's AMD, and it's a nice one. It's a good long. We got out once it finally broke view up there of our last 2% or something like that. But yeah, overall pretty good. Now it looks like it wants to break lower. The market is going lower. I don't think we'll be going long on anything the rest of the day.
I don't even see. 2 days ago, was it 2 dadays ago or 3 days ago, AMD and Nvidia were the same price, right?
Yeah, yesterday I think it was.
It was like yesterday.
Oh, no, before the report.
Okay, never mind. Nvidia's on the list, so I'll just save this one point because we'll talk about Nvidia individually.
Sure, yeah.
At the open today, so a couple of days ago, they were about the same price. At the open today, they were $15-something apart. Now that's been cut in half. And we'll get to specifically what's going on with Nvidia after, but that's like the divergence between the two. Terrible movies. Terrible is the wrong word. But the divergence between the two, and I don't want to look up a 5-second chart at all. I want to look up a higher time frame. I want to go to a weekly chart on AMD. The difference between the two today is insane. The weekly chart on AMD is from that downward trend, which I think Joseph also showed. Now I'm saying Joseph too. Joe showed in the midday. It did a full circle, complete V shape from that big downward channel from the October 2024 lower high. So it's this on a weekly chart, like I'm like 170. If this can hold what looks like a bottoming tail wick on the weekly and close this week above 170, you've got like a top reversal followed by a bottom reversal, and suddenly you can get a little bit bullish again and absolutely fly. It's like it faked out that it was going short, and if we close over 170 this week, this could have another serious leg on. I love the weekly chart, but it's a key close here because it's a reversal candle till it's not. And it's Thursday, so obviously that's not going to matter until Friday at the close. We'll talk Nvidia in 3. See, this time I actually looked at the rundown before I started going on about the next stock.
Shout out to Fabian. Here's Firefly, guys, the IPO that opened up during the midday. You know, not really as well received as Figma, but still trading well above that $45 share IPO price. It opened up, though, boys, at 70. I don't know where it's trading right now, but what's a look?
No down halt. No, nothing halted. It didn't halt.
Well, so here's the question. How does
wait a minute. 70 down.
How is this an up halt? And this isn't a down halt at any point.
They don't halt them on the downside.
I guess you don't. Maybe there's a rule about. I don't know this for a fact. I got to look this up. Is there some kind of rule like it has to be open a certain amount of time before you would halt it? Or
well, we know Figma halted it like in the first.
That's what.
25
maybe
seconds.
they just don't do it to the down. I don't understand how it could make that kind of a
down.
move down. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Look, I decided not to trade it. I think getting into why it's going to be important because as we get more IPOs, which ones you like and which ones you don't like off the open, I think are going to change. It's easy to look at when we sat down for Circle, CoreWeave, and Figma. At 9:30 in the morning, the imbalance locator was already blowing up with buy imbalances on them. At 9:30 in the morning, those opened up after 1 o'clock, and there were already huge buys at 9:30, 10 o'clock. The second the book was open, it was a monster buy imbalance. That's vastly, so it was really obvious that FI didn't have that going on today when it had none of that happening. But I think it's going to be a little trickier going forward to figure which ones you just want for the opening trade. That being said, if you take it and this happens, get the you-know-what out of Dodge as fast as you can. I always believe when you start out, I'm gonna pop to another name here. I'm just gonna pop to another name because looking at a daily chart, this doesn't make any sense. It's useless. If you pop to a daily chart and look at CoreWeave, for example, initially, okay, fine, didn't do much the first couple days outside of the opening trade. When it eventually made a top, the old let it pull back, make some kind of established low, and then whatever the early high is when it takes it out again. I think the next time I trade Fly will be if it does that kind of a move. So it's in this, we'll give it that first few weeks or months or whatever it ends up being to give you some kind of a setup to consolidate. And then my only area of interest is when it's taking out a fresh new IPO. And if it never does, then it just turns into its brethren. Because the other hint here was this is an aerospace name, Fly. This is what happened to Voyager in its recent IPO. Had this been upward trending and you're at the highs, that's another reason I might have actually liked taking this one to the long side. But you had a lot that made it seem like this wasn't going to be that good. And this is just another factor. So Voyager hasn't even approached coming back to some of those highs. And I'm not talking about the fundamentals or anything like that. So I'm not saying these are the same company, but they're in the same space. And IPO trades are about hype, at least in the first little bit, and then people start figuring out the valuation after the fact.
All right, everybody. Yeah, look, I mean, I traded it, and I did exactly what Neil said there. Neil wasn't here, but I was in, and then I was out. And I'd already explained it to you. The minute it doesn't work, we're out of there, right? I mean, the Figma IPO, like, we made 1,000 times what we lost here, maybe more. Like, so, you know, what you're talking about is just a minuscule hit, and glad that it didn't happen the other way around, where we didn't do anything and let it drop all the way down. So it's just like, have your plan of action. I think it's pretty easy trade to make there if it opens up and goes nasty against you. The thing about...
It crashed my chart.
The thing is that the minute that this comes through, I only had to start with like 10% of the shares that we were trading Figma with. And again, it goes back to the hype and everything like that. So the one thing is it's not on this board yet, and we'll talk about this later. Like, I don't know if anybody's seen Crocs here today.
Go Beebs.
That is down
28%?
That's down 30%.
Oh, where's my puke button?
Yeah. So
I gotta hit that one.
Right there, like a huge move to the downside right there. And yeah, nice move for Crocs today. Nice downside play there, down 27%. Adair wants to let everybody know that she was trading Crocs today and still is. And I believe she's doing quite well today on that. Yeah, so I would tell you how well she's doing, but this show is not about winners or losers or anything like that, just about trading. So we'll go back over to Sharif right now to talk about Tesla.
Kind of like weird headlines today on Tesla, Sean. The price action speaks for itself. It's at day's lows right now. Elon Musk getting called a good person by Donald Trump over the backlash with Tesla. Separately, the Air Force, for whatever reason, wants to use the Cybertrucks as target practice, praising the durability of the car, saying there are no comparable vehicles in existence.
Okay, I mean, that's not bad. I don't see how. I mean, it's an interesting tidbit. I don't know how much that matters either way. We saw it firsthand how durable they were when tried to blow that sucker up, and that was still standing, which is impressive. I still don't like the Cybertruck, just from a look standpoint. I keep seeing them drive around. It's like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. At the end of the day, Tesla is trying to reposition. Not trying to reposition, been positioning more for robotics and automation more than anything else. And it's not about the Cybertruck. It's not about the cheaper model. It's about what's coming next. And we talked about the pre-orders last time. No date, anyways, for Optimus. But I think it's pretty cool. And maybe we're gonna need to see a really big breakthrough in autonomy, or something, maybe an actual launch date, or maybe something showing what Optimus is fully capable of. That's the kind of catalyst that might be next for Tesla, because it took 3 days to break out from 312, and finally it's like didn't work, did work, and then today it's trying to break out the next level, 322. So didn't work. We'll see if it can hold. Right now it's not even holding up. So it's not even holding support from the prior days. It's actually looking like it's not going to be a breakout opportunity on Friday. But for now, Tesla is still in the doldrums, rejecting the 50 and the 200 period moving average. And as I said, maybe the next catalyst isn't going to be earnings. It's going to be some kind of hype regarding Optimus, or maybe some kind of good news on Robotaxi, which we don't know when that's going to be.
Well, Neil, you're right about one thing. The next headline will not be earnings, because that will be
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
3 months.
way too far out.
3 months from now. Okay, so just real quick, man, I'll take the other side of it. I think the Cybertrucks are kind of growing on me, actually. I didn't like them to begin with. Now I don't mind them. But yeah, for me today, I just got the note that my car was fully charged downstairs. So shout out to Tesla. Right now, never having to line up in a gas station ever again with my car. But we'll see. I may go back to gas at some point. Who knows? But once you go electric, you never go back. Is that the saying? All right, so, the 200 period has just been broken here. We were riding it pretty good to the upside on this 5-minute chart. We have a bad wick there, so it's making it, up and down there, looking a little silly. But yeah, Tesla looks like it might have had its sort of opportunity to try to hang around this 320 mark. Now you're pulling back a little bit. I don't think tomorrow's going to be a free-for-all Friday or anything like that, but Tesla down now pretty good, right? The market is also red, but this name hasn't really been able to get going today. You did have a try early on. I mean, you got as low as 318 and as high as 322. So you had a $4 range in the first 10 minutes, and then you kept on making that range back and forth, and now it's trying to fight itself from going below sort of this 318 level. That looks like a good hold. I mean, right now you're at 317. Let's see if we can get back up, but with a pointing down, everything's sloping down, 50 period, 200 period, VWAP. I don't know. To me, it's a short. It's a short for a minute. So we'll hold off on thinking about Tesla being a long unless this market really gets going. I mean, we'll talk. Let's go through the rank, and then I'll talk about some trade ideas that I have here moving into the last hour.
Nvidia, Katina, man, continues to make lower lows and lower highs. Look at that downward channel, guys. Really having trouble catching a bid, despite the fact that it will be reprieved from these 100% import tariffs on microchips and semiconductors as a result of the $500 billion they're investing into the U.S. market. So market doesn't seem to care today. Down to the right goes Nvidia.
Yep, down and to the right it is. It was, at the open, everything seemed fine on Nvidia. Like, it just seemed like it was another day, all-time highs. Nvidia, it's just going to trend up. Like, it liquidity grabbed the low, the pre-market support, with lit grab, attempt to break underneath, and then break out the top. Looked very good. It did break a trend line here, which was me getting out of it. And it always works. Sometimes, you can get out on a trend. You've seen it before. Like, it goes like $4 higher, but I'm out of it. In this particular case, it just so happens to be the turn. Like, it's always going to look like this. Sometimes it looks like a grayed out, and then other days Nvidia goes $3 or $4. It's just that's the strategy. But after that, it's insane. It's almost like an algo, like, well, it is, it's not almost like it is. The algo style selling on this, holding this channel has been wild. I cannot remember the last time I saw a down channel on Nvidia like today. It's just different, and I don't wonder if maybe this is gonna signal some kind of a temp top. I don't like the look of that daily chart, so I'm just gonna go to E-signal here, because I wanna make sure this is a better and cleaner look for everybody, just so you guys can see. Yeah. Like on the daily, it's just, our charts sometimes have these really weird wicks on it, but you got a double top at the all-time high, and after it failed it, you have this program channel down selling on a stock which has barely done more than go down for 2 or 3 days in a row before catching a bid. So maybe it's got one of these go down for 2 and 3 days before catching a bid things happening. That's kind of where my head's at for Nvidia when I look at that. But look, Nvidia is still the king. That's, you know, they are who, it is what it is. I just feel like maybe we're going to get one of these small pullbacks that we're into right now. So there's always a chance just for this afternoon. There's a decisive break of this channel, which I would take a shot at along. But every single time it's come up above, it's been a hard rejection. Yeah, it's wild. The programs are really in control of this.
So Nvidia reports 2 weeks yesterday. So not next Wednesday, the following Wednesday on the 20th. So, I mean, that's going to be a day, right? I mean, join us on Wednesday, the 20th for Nvidia earnings. And, you know, the fact that we're just flat on the day, even though it looks like this, just shows you that we did have a dramatic move there yesterday after hours. I don't think it's anything to panic against. That's brand new all-time highs there today for Nvidia. So sometimes we will get stocks that will fade off of those highs. So according to eSignal, it was 183.30. That was made right here, I guess, on AMD earnings or something like that. And then all of a sudden flushed right back down. Maybe it was Palantir earnings, I'm not sure. But that day, and then so 183.30. Today's high is 183.88. So congratulations again to anybody holding on to Nvidia. You're going to be like, why am I congratulating? Because this is happening. But come on, man. I mean, one day, this is what it looks like. We've talked about it downward sloping everything right now. The market's, I think, is just taking a breather. We got a lot of good news. And often when you get that, there's some more euphoria that kicks in. And right now, Nvidia just suffering from all of that. I mean, you didn't get great news from Intel today. What's next? LLY. So, all right, so Intel still to the downside, right? AMD obviously is going the other way, as we've really liked AMD today. And I just think that when you have the sort of the push and pull between two names, like today, traders are all over AMD. So AMD's doing this, and we hit it. There's reasons why you don't see any mark whatsoever on my screen here for NVIDIA. I was focusing on advanced micro devices and put that in our pocket and spun it around. So right here, we'll just wait for NVIDIA and see if it wants to get going. Maybe tomorrow you'll have some positive catalyst. But for today, there wasn't anything on the board for me for NVIDIA, so we left it alone. And I feel pretty good about it, other than not shorting it, but I don't think I was ready to go short NVIDIA. If I'm going to short anything, it'd be the market, and I do want to talk about that after Eli Lilly, which I did buy some of this dip. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it was a big down move, Sean, for Eli Lilly, despite a fantastic quarter and raising guidance. However, their guidance does not take into consideration future pharmaceutical tariffs on imports. So qualifier there. Separately, they're also down as a result of the oral weight loss GLP-1 study. It looks like it's trailing one of their competitors, Novo Nordisk, who's also developing their own, again, also below Wall Street's expectations for the amount of weight loss, which was 12%, boys.
Okay, so the good news is they're like multiple years ahead on an oral versus specifically on an oral, specifically versus Novo versus Viking, and there's somebody else as well, but they're still the leader. That being said, the earnings were good. The disappointment does lie in just not as much weight loss as they wanted, and there was obviously there's side effects as well. Some criticism over too many people leaving the study because of side effects, like nausea, vomiting, nausea, that kind of a thing. So it wasn't all good. I don't think it's necessarily the most fair comparison because they were comparing between the oral and the injectable, which to me doesn't always have to make sense. But you know what? I think we're going to find a buying opportunity in Lilly. It just seems like maybe it was due to pull back. Novo's been pulling back since ever. Like it's been downward trending the entire time Eli Lilly's been holding the high. So I guess it was just its time. What would concern me a bit more and just going from the fresh all-time high and the first pullback, and this is on a weekly chart, by the way. If you look at it, it's holding a trend, a downward sloping trend with some failed breaks at the top, but it's managed to hold on. This weekly chart now threatens the bottom of this channel on Eli Lilly, right? And each time it has done that, it's lower lows, but it's at least bounced. If it stops bouncing, this is like, it'd be the inverse of what Palantir did. Like Palantir had an upward channel and just broke away, and see how crazy it went. Well, I'd worry if we break this channel on the weekly. I think you'd be at the 200 period on the weekly very quickly, like within a day. Like we break that channel, it's just nasty. So I think there's going to be a buy opportunity. I just think I'm waiting on Eli Lilly. I think it's an overreaction. I still think they're the leader. I think it's fine in the long term, but on like a short term aspect, I want to see it close this weekly, holding, it's slow, like I said, lower highs, but holding this channel. It's done so pretty much exactly. Like this low in front of 630 is more or less dead on with where it would need to hold on that channel. If it closes a week above that, next week I think it'd be a good sign opening up in front of that 630 level. Until then, I'm kind of backing off of it.
Look, I don't pretend to be as smart as everyone else around here. I just bought the dip today. I bought it right here. I think I'm long at like 130 or 636 or 637, something like that. You know, I most recently bought this name at 750, as you all saw, and this is me for the very, very long term. I don't plan on doing anything with this for a while. I mean, it's been classified like that wonder drug. It could be doing a UNH. I mean, we could fall a lot more than that. And then, you know, after that, none of this stuff's gonna matter anyways. So we'll just wait to see what winds up happening. You know, next area for me to dip by in and around 580, and that's about it. So that's what we'll wind up doing if it does come back in a little bit. Just deployed, again, a minimal amount of capital, but like, it's still putting money to work. So I don't know. I hope it does wind up working out for me. Just for an example, I put in a third of what I put into Apple the other day. I put it back into Eli Lilly. So just a name that I like and I think can work out. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And hopefully Eli Lilly does have some good results moving forward there, and we can get some sort of a clarification on exactly what those numbers were all about. So yeah, man, I like Eli Lilly here. I think it can work for the long term, and I'm just going to keep on buying it on dips. But again, nothing again until that 580 mark. Just a small move there. I don't want to miss the boat in case this thing does start to rip up. So yeah, that's Eli Lilly right there. I think it's a little different than UNH in the fact that I don't know if we have as many negative stories or anything around it as we did the other way. You know, missed on trials. This is what happens, man. I've been in AbbVie for a very, very long time. I mean, ask people that are in Pfizer and Merck and all that. There's many names that sort of go the way of this, and this is just another one that's going to go through its ups and downs. And right now, Eli Lilly is going through a down movement. I mean, it was just $800 3 days ago, right? So now it's at 640, and I don't know about you, but like, I think it's going to get more popular. This drug is more.
It's not going away.
More people get. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a lazy alternative or anything like that, but it's a diabetes fighter. You know, there's lots of stuff there where people might not be able to work out or using traditional ways to lose weight, and this is
like 7 million or something.
I mean, people
like that.
can't grow hair; they get fake hair. You know, it's like these are all things, they're all cosmetic things that wind up happening. You know, and to each their own.
Well,
you know, we know people that have transplants, and they're happy with them.
There's, you know, in America alone, this is the number I read this morning. It was like 7 million right now. Now think of they were like it could be over 100 million people. Right. And just speaking about the oral specifically.
Like the addressable market.
The addressable market's huge, but it's also about how many people are just not going to do this on any regular basis because they don't want a needle. And so, like,
they also have that needle too now.
Yeah, but now it's like the oral is huge, man. Like, it's a really big deal to reach another secondary audience.
Right.
And they're so far ahead of their competitors with it that it just makes a lot of sense. Where else are you going to be in this space? Look at the charts of all their competitors in the space. They're all trash. Viking caught a little bit of a bid. There's some deal speculation. People are always speculating deal. There was catching a bit of a bid, Viking, and then we all see Novo's chart. They're trying to catch a bid, but Lilly's just holding up a heck of a lot better. I think at the end of the day, it's also on top of that. There's got to be an incentive. Like what are the? I heard Treef say this too, and I completely agree. All of the other things that go beneficial-wise with weight loss in a general sense, like whether it's diabetes, all of the heart disease, all of these things which will be less of a burden on costs, will make it, once they start finding this out, or even other addictions that these drugs are able to somewhat abet. Like, that's less cost everywhere, more reason why it should be part of health plans and all kind of a thing. So anyways, look, I like the stock too. But there's a couple of things reporting after the bell, and we'll talk about more of them in depth, but I just want to get a couple out of the way. I saw some people asking about like SOUN after the bell tonight. Obviously, Friday things slow down for earnings, but tonight SOUN, Block, Trade Desk, Rocket Lab, NewScale, Pinterest, Twilio, CleanSpark, and MP Materials, which has been an absolute beast. Maybe not today. It's up 4.5%. There's so many stocks that are up with a downward sloping chart. Like, it's up 4.5%, it's a downward sloping chart, just because that's the kind of day we've been having. But MP did make another fresh high today, going into earnings. That hasn't always, sometimes it's been the kiss of death. More often than not, this earnings cycle, it's been the kiss of death if you've been making fresh highs, literally the days going into earnings. But yeah, it's a good looking play. I don't hope it goes down. At some point, I want to be able to pick this up at a more reasonable price for sure. We got a super chat. I didn't even see this. Chris Landrum, can you give your thoughts on PanW?
Well,
my first thought is I might buy this. I might get more cybersecurity exposure through CIBR.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We were talking about that this morning, and it came down to, I know people mention hack all the time. Difference between CIBR and hack is CIBR has more PanW and more CrowdStrike by a reasonable margin, and less Cisco. Well, Cisco was the most notable thing that it had less of. There's probably obviously other things that it had less in there. That's enough for me, because I like those two names. So why would I hold the ETF that has less of them versus the one that has more? Instead of buying more PanW, which I already own, and I already own CrowdStrike, so why not just go into an ETF? Part of that is then I get exposure to buy the dip on Fortinet. And I still can't really explain why things are so bad for Fortinet today, down 25%. The analysts will probably be giving you opinions as to, well, this line item and that line item. I'm like, whatever, man. It's down 25%, and I couldn't tell you why, just based on the report. But what we can say is it's enough for me that I'm like, I don't want to dip by this, but I want to dip by the space. I'm doing it in the ETF so I can keep it a little bit more simple. CIBR. And there's nothing wrong with hack. I just looked at the two and I said, I kind of like this one a little better with the composition. As far as PanW goes, I guess specifically because that's the super chat, I'd say it's down on sympathy, not split adjusted. Let me just go to my weekly chart on eSignal so you can see a better look at this. On a weekly chart, it looks just fine. You know, it's more auto buy when it gets down to 140 or the 200 period. Looks like the 130 level looks really good. And you can see an obvious top above 200. So it's just, market was at the highs and we rejected the same top it was rejecting before. It's broken the 50 period on the weekly before and bounced. So I wouldn't be terribly worried about that because it bounced to the high last time. If it makes a lower high, then I'd get a little bit concerned on this weekly chart for PanW. Otherwise, I'm still buying the dip. I've just elected to do it somewhere else other than specifically PanW.
Yeah, I mean, I think strong financials in this name. I mean, they just bought CyberArk. I mean, I think that was part of the initial move down, and then today, obviously, they're not liking the Fortinet, the FTNT, and you are going to catch some shrapnel from that. I mean, FTNT today down 28%, was it the last time? I don't know. Last time we looked, okay, FTNT, there it is, down 25%. So not a great look here for Fortinet, and I just think that high margin subscriptions, right? I mean, Palo Alto, no one's going to be canceling their cybersecurity contracts, I don't think, and I just know that various, even small businesses, are getting hacked and all that kind of stuff, right? And so, I don't know, I just be prudent with your buys, and I just, if you are looking to put some money to work, 170 doesn't look like a horrible spot right there for Palo Alto. So, you're down into it right now. You can probably get a little bit of a discount on that price. And again, I think a lot of that is just that CyberArk, SYBR, where they wound up buying bought that name and maybe paid a little bit too much cash and stock over there. Costco, this is another name here that's had quite the move. over the last couple of days. And if this is what happens when you sleep on things, I mean, it's part of the reason why we buy Eli Lilly and things like that. I mean, I'm just trying to buy best of breed stuff. When you see Costco make moves like this, it doesn't take long for it to make a move like that. So, you know, Costco back down into 925 just yesterday, takes out the 200 period again back to the upside. So now, if you are a technical trader, you're looking for reason to buy. Well, now you're above the 200 period, so we do like that stock right there. Me and Neil and I will go over many different names with you throughout the day, but I am going to now refresh this site and give it another reload. So if you come over here, I'm going to hit refresh on this now so we can get going. So we'll give this a fresh start. You got to type in Microsoft, you got to type in whatever you want here into the chat. So someone type in here, and then you'll get, okay, I'll do it first.
I already got one.
Okay.
No, I'm first.
Neil got it. Okay, so Hood. So there you go. So now they're starting to fly in. So there's Hood,
Boom.
there's Tesla, there's Figma. So everything that you guys are putting in there is going to populate, and then we'll be able to decide, you know, which one of these leads the way, and then we can discuss it,
New York.
et cetera, et cetera. IMS coming in there out of nowhere. So we'll have a look at that. Figma today really getting slid down, man. And I think Figma is part of that whole IPO. We'll have a look at that. Thanks, Fabian, for that. That might be a cool thing, by the way, Fabian. And again, I'll put on the producer hat here. We can actually almost put that in the corner somehow. Fabian's back there. But if there was a way that that could just like even almost be up and, I don't know, just flashing every once in a while. So we're not showing it. Fabian's over there doing
right
some
there.
work.
You can
getting
poke him,
ready
you can
to
poke
go.
him in the head.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting all set up over there right now with, oh, his new station's almost ready to go. Mark doing
Clearly is
so much for all of this. Like, you know, the fact that that's already set up is like kind of blowing my mind anyways. But so shout out to our great team that we have working here every single day, you know, rain or shine.
Get it, Mark.
Everybody's here. Get
You
it,
don't.
Mark.
Well,
Oh, God, this is happening
you see
now.
Randy. You see Randy all the time, and
yeah.
you see sometimes you'll see Rob. You guys probably almost never see Mark, but he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And yeah, I can't believe he did it so fast. I think they started doing that this morning, I think.
I mean, this is
After the show started, while the show was on in the morning, they started moving everything over.
I mean, that's what we were saying.
Just before we go back over,
Sure.
Figma, just because I saw Figma first,
Right.
I know Him's topped the list,
Down
but
14, 13.
Yeah, I saw Figma first. It's down 13 points today, and wow, it's underneath that IPO open price again of 85, tracking to make a bottom and maybe do another bottom break if it gets through $76 on Figma. I didn't even look, because of Fly, I didn't even bother paying for locates or even looking at Figma. But this is that notion, and we talked about this with CoreWeave, where you make a high in the first couple of days and then you start finding where the bottom is on the stock. And right now, it's in a valuation finding, bottom feeding moment or whatever here with Figma. It looks kind of nasty. Right now, I don't know if it flat bottom breaks today. If it does, if we're underneath 75 tomorrow, I mean, whatever, 85, 75, I probably would look for the short breaking 75 tomorrow morning if it's available. That said, we've missed every single bottom break at the open on Figma that's happened, which is wild. In the back of my mind,
You got to be focused on it, right?
Well,
like it's not. It's like you said, back of your mind.
yeah, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I know it's just a matter of crossing a little bit further and being willing to, like, I still think I'm crossing 40 to 50 cents at maximum when it breaks these levels, and just knowing you have to cross a little bit more if you're going to take it, and that's the reality. You're crossing it close to $1, but when it falls, that's the 110 was, I don't know, instantly a couple of bucks, and then very shortly after that, 5, and then 10, and then eventually 15 before you even had an up candle. So obviously it can really go. So you should be willing to give it more room. And I think we have a chance to see that tomorrow, potentially at the open.
Yeah, for sure. And today we have to remind everybody about Beta Pro. I mean, this is a 3-time daily levered ETF. Savvy Canadian investors looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 with Beta Pro, 3 times daily levered ETFs. With built-in, of course, we talked about this, the FX hedging. This aims to amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impacts of currency swings. We could talk about all this decay and options. Maybe we'll do that after this. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca, please, before investing. And before we do that, we're going to go over to Adara.
Yeah, in case you guys missed it, I mentioned this during the midday after Microsoft announced via CEO Satya Nadella that they're going to be hosting some of, or I guess, OpenAI's new GPT-5 on some of their offerings, we had Elon Musk come into Satya Nadella's X and say that OpenAI is going to eat Microsoft alive. So with that in mind, here's just, I guess, a little bit of a throwback to that one wild day, February 10th, 2025, when Tesla made wild moves as Sam Altman and Elon Musk got into a back and forth on X over OpenAI. So check this out on X at TTV Research if you're interested in this trip down memory lane. But I thought it was pretty fitting, given the fact that now, in addition to Elon Musk going after Dan Ives, noted Wedbush analyst, he's also going after fellow Meg 7 CEO Satya Nadella. Keep an eye also on some of these solar names. Axios just reporting here that apparently a key Republican is pressing the Trump administration to allow for wind and solar to access these IRA tax credits. Keep an eye on solar names, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's so, oh man, I love.
Sam Altman versus Elon Musk.
Well, it's
the thing.
Okay.
The rich just keep getting richer, and they just battle each other back and forth for something to do.
It's entertaining.
At least Bezos is partying up in
doing
clubs and on yachts and
He's
all
living
this
the
stuff.
best life.
Yeah, he's living the best life out of all of these guys. That is for sure. I mean,
no question.
get your money and get the heck out of there, Andy Jassy.
Or at least this way.
Jassy.
If you've determined that it's time for other people to take the reins because you think that's best for the company, and you can admit that, then go on and live your best life. And if you believe that you're still the right thing to do, then focus on it, which we want Elon to do, if that's going to be the case. So I like it. It's entertaining, but I don't necessarily like it. I'd rather be focused on other stuff. Ultimately, we've been talking about eventually at some point. Hopefully, I love it to be sooner. I'm skeptical that OpenAI needs to. That IPO, I could say ahead of time. That's an example of an automatic take the open trade.
Which one?
OpenAI. Like whatever day it happens, sometimes it's obvious. I don't think it's always obvious with things like Fly. Like you have to figure out what you're doing with that one. Maybe you size down, you
Fly
grade
is
them
right now down to $61.
Oh my goodness. So you put them on a scale or something. The ones where it's obvious, it's like that. Those are the easy times to say you like it. The ones, like it's these rando IPOs that you have to be a little bit more discretionary. You pick and choose a little bit better. There was something else I was going to mention. It was HIMS that topped that list.
Right, yep. Yeah, HIMS is a good one on there, our little.
Yeah, and well, I mean, the GLP names are down, right? HIMS had been down since earnings, so it shouldn't be a surprise. It's only down 1.2%, but it shouldn't be a surprise that it's continuing to falter. HIMS is another stock. I feel like there's a lot of charts that I've been looking at today. Maybe it's anecdotal, I have no idea. But we're on the precipice of breaking down on multiple levels. ARM is so close to breaking down in a big way, I think. HIMS is retesting. Just go right back to April, this consolidation break, and then look at it hold these levels. You could be looking at a $50 breakdown. I did not write that down. Actually, I did, but I wrote it incorrectly on my iPad. I know what I did. Whatever. It happens. Like this stupid pen that I use, I hit the wrong number. And so I put 59 instead of 50 because the 9 is next to the 0. But 50, I think this is for tomorrow. I don't know if it happens today. But on a daily chart, if we open underneath the trend line, like breaking a trend line on the daily chart to me means nothing if it happens intraday. I want to see it happen like tomorrow, open underneath the trend line and then look for the trend under. So that's what's happening here on HIMS. It could easily bounce here. Like if it opens bouncing off this level, I might be looking long HIMS tomorrow for all we know. It depends on where it opens up tomorrow. Opens under, I look short. Opens over, I look long. It's just pretty simple. But as far as investing in HIMS, I'm not going to. I don't see the need, man. Like it's not truly like investing in Eli Lilly, but I don't need to overcomplicate things. I just want to trade this over under tomorrow on that trend line, and I'll leave it at that.
All right, yeah, so a good look there for all of those names. I mean, just going through HIMS, I mean, if we're going to look at, what's reporting tonight, interesting for me will be the trade desk. I mean, I think that's, if you're going to look at TTD, I was looking at XYZ, it's not really doing too much, XYZ. There it goes, so the trade desk coming through right here, nice little move upside there that gets that bump there on Meta, Google, strong sort of headwinds there, or I guess in this example would be tailwinds. Regarding advertising, I mean, TTD forecast to gain 17% year over year. Their model continues to work. I think they got smoked though. That's XYZ. Come on, hold on a second. The trade desk. That's not what the trade desk looks like. They're up. There it is. So there's TTD right there with a nice move. That bump up was XYZ's bump up on the inclusion. But yeah, there goes trade desk. So a nice little move higher. We'll see if they can continue to sort of outperform. The other name there we have that I think is somewhat interesting, we have Pinterest. Where's their symbol? I have no idea what their symbol looks like. There it is right here. P, I knew that. Pinterest coming at 405 again, looking for 35 cents. Revenue near $1 billion, which would be nice. That's 14% year over year. Forecast up again, big reactions expected for Pinterest with the previous move being 20%. Let's see if Pinterest can get going. Of course, Twilio. Block is there. I mean, Block is nice, man. I mean, Block, I think, has a lot into it. So they're going to be reporting there tonight as well. XYZ, we've seen PayPal. I don't really like the space with all these new entrants coming through. You know, we talked about this again. SoFi, Webull, Robinhood, all these kind of names now. I mean, I know PayPal is a little different and so is Block than all of those names, but getting ready for earnings call here on Block, it's had a nice move up. It's almost filled. It pretty much did fill that gap right there on the inclusion, but 72 up to $80. We'll see if we can get back into that area again. I mean, up to $90 would be real nice. Adara's note today for XYZ was 10%. So, you know, a 10% move either way. We're going to look to break that 82, or if you give it back, you're back down in here into the 50-period moving average. I think that might be a little more of a wise play to wait to see if XYZ gives you that down play before getting involved with this one. Just thinking about it, SoundHound was another name that's reporting later on tonight. And again, with the AI aspect into SOUN, I think that could be something. The implied move here is 15% with EPS of still minus 5 cents. So not looking for them to make money whatsoever. But SoundHound, I just want to see what it says over here on our notes. What's the roadmap looking like? So that's what we have marked down here, the AI roadmap for SoundHound. You know, what are they looking for? Because right now we did get a bump up on Nvidia news with SoundHound in the past. We do know that it's about a 20% short float. So this could be another one of those interesting plays heading into the earnings report tonight. SoundHound could get going. Rocket Lab, another heavily shorted name, reporting. So, I mean, there's going to be, join Adair and I tonight.
That's a mover.
Yeah, Rocket Lab right here. Cadence, backlog, momentum here, accelerate its guidance is what traders are looking for. Can they guide higher here? Rocket Lab, a great performer since those April lows. This was $15, Neil. I mean, you're all the way up to 45. That's a triple. We had gotten higher than that as well. Let's see if it can hold its PE, which I have no idea what it is.
Another problem for Fly today. Looking at that chart, Rocket Lab's even pulling back off the highs. Like, it's just timing matters on these IPOs. Like, if Rocket Lab was in the midst of that upward move, then don't you think Fly would have had better momentum behind it?
I do.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that sort of happen. But that said, Rocket Lab's probably a little bit more known by the traders, and I guess it had its time to have made a bottom for Rocket Labs. What's the short float on RKLB? Because I know it's been gigantic before, because that chart looks
It has 14% only. That's
it?
Yeah, it's not horrible, is it?
Man, it's still double digits is fine. It's just I always thought it was more than that, but I guess when this
like
happens,
I said, it's tripled since April.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe some of those
shorts aren't that dumb. Well, I mean,
yeah, some of them. Yeah. No comment.
Yeah, in a general sense, lots of shorts would have gotten out at a move like this, but I'm sure there's some that we're still loading in and new ones getting in. But this is a trend break at any point right now. Speaking of trend breaks, that's my horrible segue to redrawing this. Come on, man, save it. Hit the save button. Anyways. Yeah, so the trend line broke, and for this on Nvidia, it broke the trend, but this is the close. Down at 179.5, breaks trend and closes at 180 even. So I'm not chasing it up here. I'm like, okay, well, I want long off of like that prior close at best, but ideally almost down here in the 70 and 80 range. Because the stop goes in underneath that prior bar. A good thing I double checked it because I put it at 176. Under 176.50 for some reason, which is obviously incorrect. That wouldn't have even triggered.
Correct.
I want it at 170, underneath this 179, like 48 or whatever that works out to be. So I want to be ideally filled at 80 and underneath on this trend break in Nvidia. Make sure I'm talking about the right stock. Maybe we can get to the volume weighted average price. Looks like the Qs are breaking trend as well. Just eyeballing it here, I don't need to draw the line, but on the 15-minute, you have the Qs attempting to break out the trend line as it's been downside pretty much from the open. Like you had one green candle on the 15-minute, and since then it's been a downward trend. The last big bounce failed. So it's not, I don't think we're out of the water yet. But just, like the market's done this once already. Nvidia hasn't really broken this trend, but the Qs did, and they immediately failed to follow through. So I want to try to add underneath 180 and want to play it into like 81 in VWAP is the target here. Not trying to do anything too crazy. And as you had mentioned before, that
power hour.
Oh, it's power hour already. It wasn't FIG. It was that Fly IPO.
I'm going to try a little short here.
It's really holding the low. That 61 is holding like a champ.
Maybe it's a nice level.
Yeah, like the wick bottom's underneath 61, but it's held 61 for about 10 minutes now and bouncing higher. So there might be something going on with this stock. Liquidity looks really, really bad.
By 61.
It doesn't look, like the bid just never has anything on it but like ones and twos, which is, here, I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah, the liquidity is not great. I saw the same thing.
Oh, well, yeah, when I pull it up, that's like a second.
That's still not that much. I mean,
a second ago was worse than this a second.
Look at the level too. I mean, something you get 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents.
You go down, you don't see anything else.
Pretty hard.
Like someone's, the only bid I saw for size, I saw you go scroll down $55. Someone was sitting at the book.
Boom.
But the fact that the fact you can see 55 on one of those books should tell you about the liquidity, because you shouldn't see that deep into the book because there should be bidders at other prices. Like I have it for each gateway, I think I have like 10 levels, maybe 20 at the most. So why would I even see somebody in the book at 55? It just means there's not a lot of people in that particular gateway.
I'm new trade alert. Yeah, so we just went short. I mean, short Marvell. I mean, like I try to say, I'm just a trader. That's it. And you know, I see an opportunity here. Let's see if we can get it back to the downside. And it's just basing out the way I like to look at it. A retracement back to VWAP. Okay, well, there it is, man. 10 cents, whatever, man. All we're trying to do right now is stack it up. We're having the day on AMD has made our life a lot easier today. So yeah, we're pretty happy with what we've been doing. But so there, we'll just stack that. We'll see if we can get lower. I mean, obviously, if we get something down to the 200 period and the 50 period, that'd be great. What's up, Adair?
I want to let you guys know tomorrow's earnings docket for a Friday is actually surprisingly very good. Under Armour, Canopy Growth, TerraWolf, Wendy's, Fubo, and Tempest all reporting before the bell. Tomorrow after the bell, then we get Core Scientific. CORZ actually moved today after Financial Times reported that apparently there's an activist investor trying to block CoreWeave's acquisition of the company. So this could be really exciting stuff. Usually you don't really get any earnings on Friday, let alone 7 names and a post-market report. So check this out on X at TTV Research. And in about probably 20 minutes, maybe less, I'll be releasing the expected move calendar for tonight's earnings. We have about 13 names of note on watch. I'll have the expected moves and expected release times for all of them. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Go to TTV Research, get all of that, man. I mean, we're posting it up. Go find all of us on X. That's the first thing. Find myself and the main account there on Instagram. Okay, so I just want to say, like, VWAP is up here at 70. If that breaks, we're going to get out. So this is just a pretty simple trade. It's come right back upside a little bit. We only got it at 10% there. It could fail. And the only reason I'm trying to go short is just to see. I mean, I feel almost like the trend broke a little bit here because that's what we use the 50-period moving average for on a 1-minute chart, is to sort of give us this guide to the downside. And how do we broken before? Of course. I mean, none of these things are written in stone. They're just ideas, and they're just lines to look at. And we broke it much more aggressively and a bigger percentage break than we had at any time during the day. I'm going to discount the first 30 minutes, right? But just right here, nice trend to the downside. So we'll see. I mean, hoping that we continue to go lower, not for the account. I mean, I want to go long on the account, but for right here, just into the day, and was actually looking at maybe even shorting the triple Qs. But again, I feel a little more confident looking for a stock that is near VWAP, and especially on a day where Marvell is kind of hovering around with the market. So if I do think the market will pull back, this should come back in, and it has had a jaunt to the upside. We could be way off on this. The 70 also sort of coinciding with that bottom. Maybe Marvell. Marvell's a stock that I've recently gone long on in my own account. So not recently, we're long at, well, it's come back in actually. We're long at 64.50 or whatever it was.
Well, recently is such a...
That's what I was going to say.
It's like if you're holding it forever, if you bought it this year, that's recently, in my opinion. in a long term. And
Well, this year it's 8th month already, but
I don't know, but if you're holding it forever, I just think anything I bought this year, I bought recently. If you're swinging it, then you need to have bought it.
I just think that no matter where you buy things, though, you always try to buy things at like a good level. I mean, even no matter how long you're holding something for,
you always try to.
Yeah, you want to make sure that what you bought is something that you like and it's at a good level. Because I just feel like there's a lot of the time, and not just us, but a lot of people use that excuse. Well, I'm holding this forever, so it doesn't matter. But you still got to try to get the right prices, and it's like I don't want to buy Palantir up here.
Well, exactly.
Do I want to hold it?
Yeah, I really want to own Robinhood.
Example.
I just cannot pull the trigger up here.
I mean, that's a great one, and not forever ever.
I will buy a dip on Robinhood. It will. I mean, there isn't a dip. It's not a really. I think it made a high again today.
Yeah. We
nope. Well,
it was close. It was 10s, right?
Real close. But like I said, I'm not touching it up here. But at some point, I'll figure it out. This was the name I was gonna. This could be breaking down in a big way. ARM. This is it's hanging on by an absolute thread at $135 in the 200-period moving average. I like ARM. I own some ARM. So I'll get that out of the way. The last time I bought it in at like 87 or 86 or something like that, and I sold a very small piece in front of 160. Not enough, but that's just life. If it loses a 200, I'm going to be looking to buy it somewhere again. But I'm thinking this is a breakdown short on ARM through 135. Just for myself. Okay, we have free locates on it, which means we'll have free locates on it very likely tomorrow.
Yep.
But it broke 135 several times today, which is why I'm not a huge fan of this breakdown today. But tomorrow, if it's under 135, I'm going short on ARM. It's another one that I'm looking at. That I wrote down, and then I wrote down the HIMs underneath the $50 level. So really just Nvidia on that trend break. See, now it saves the trend line. Sometimes I love the fact that it saves the trend line. I just feel like I always forget to hit the save button. But it's like playing it the way I want to, but it's very simple. This is the prior bar low when it broke the trend line. If it loses that, I'm out. And what can you do? Like, that's the strategy. It got up a little bit. If you have it as it's breaking, it obviously works out a lot better, but I'm getting it a little bit after the fact. I do want to go back to something. I should say this off the bat. If Intel sniffs anywhere near the VWAP, or the volume weighted average price, I do want to get back into this. I was sleeping at the wheel at noon. I don't even remember why I didn't go short this at the volume weighted average price. I'm pretty sure I was sitting here. I hadn't gone for my walk yet, so I don't even know why I didn't look at this. But if it gets to VWAP again, I would certainly short this thing for sure. USAR or Alpha is saying.
Sure, have a look.
This is a rare earth metal play, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, it is. Okay, I was like kind of sure, but not 100% sure. Nice, 10% upside. Well, this will be great too if MP goes,
That's what
right?
I was gonna say, isn't MP tonight?
MP reports tonight. Then you've got if MP breaks out, this could be a nice one. Look at the top at this at like $16, $17. My goodness, if you can get through that. Somebody clearly selling this sucker every time it gets above 16. I love breakouts and it's like through, like when you finally get it breaking an established seller, but it's probably gonna take MP having a good print tonight. I don't know when these guys report or if they already have. This volume spike makes me guess that maybe they did in July.
I thought they reported.
No, it's like USAR.
Oh.
USAR has a monster volume spike in the middle of July, which would make me think that they've already reported, but I don't know that for a fact. I'm just guessing based on the volume. I'd have to look it up, which I will in just a second.
Yeah, exactly. I think you want to make sure that you're in the right. I mean, it's the right space, so we know that for sure.
Oh no, they haven't. They report on the 11th.
Which one? Oh, USAR.
USAR.
Okay.
So they report next week.
MP is tonight.
MP's tonight, and these guys, I guess that's Monday, right?
Right. So okay, we'll pay attention and try to see our best with that. Marvell right now, honestly, I know it's a new position, but it looks like for some reason, as soon as we went short there, I don't know if people joined me or whatever, but it went down there at 75.34. So, and now it looks like it wants to just keep on like resisting that level. So I do have another bid there for another 10%. The first one was actually only 5%. Well, actually it was, No, it was 10%, a little bit under that, but just because I don't have an odd number to do the calculation. But right into there, 75, 35. If we can get that again, we'll take a little bit out. Let's just go find what's going on with Palantir. Right now, again, it's sort of the bigger names just keep on moving upside right now. There goes Palantir off that low of 180. Yeah, nicely starting to go upside now for PLTR, despite the market kind of just doing this. There goes Palantir right back up to its 200-period moving average. So again, I shorted Marvell. I'm not sure the market is a short, so that's the one thing that I have to talk about. If it was, I think you're on a good level here to short Palantir, but then are you really going to give it all the way up to VWAP is sort of a rhetorical question that I'm trying to ask, is that's $1 from here. So if you are going to short Palantir here, and you do think that maybe there is, you know, a little bit of an over move here, then I would wait a little bit. You got to get a little bit closer there to VWAP before you make said play on that one. We did put up Fabian's level there, so let's go over it and have a quick look at the board to see what everyone wants to talk about. So Nvidia is just winning the way right here. We can have a look at SOUN, and again, I just want to see what the guide is. Anything that they put up doesn't matter. We've seen that. Yeah, it's minus 5 cents is the expected EPS. But that to me is, obviously that's important. But at the end of the day, I just feel like the guide, right, is what everybody's looking for on all of these stocks that are about to report. Companies have reported great numbers, but then guided weak. So, and that's crushed some of those. So yeah, the new one on here, I guess SoundHound, everything else pretty similar. Oh yeah, SMR reporting as well tonight. So as we wait out for what NewScale is thinking about doing, we do have some calls there for SMR reporting Q2 tonight. Let me just call this up, SMR. Right there, there's NewScale. So yeah, reporting 2Q tonight. We are looking for, they're still not making money either, minus 11 cents on SMR. This is out a huge move, man, from like basically $10, yeah, down into here. I mean, even lower than that back September. Like last year at this time, SMR was a $9 name, so you bet kind of about 5 times that, right into here into $45. So should be a good little look for them. Last year's at this time, minus 31 cents. So things getting better for SMR. As we know that someone, Neil, has to power this AI revolution, and it may be nuclear. And apparently, with some of the plays that we've seen lately in the space, nuclear is going to be something to look out for. So we are going to have to watch out for SMR. Apparently, there's a lot of call activity on there. Above 44.50 gets this stock going. So that's what's happening right now. I'm just reading this note on that stock. We could get up to that $40 or $50 mark. We are at right there up to 50 or back down to 40. We're expecting a 9% implied move. So that's one way or the other. You should move 10, at least $5 up to one of those even levels there tonight. Again, the roadmap, we've talked about commercialization. I mean, they need to get some more support for their small modular reactors there. A couple more clients under their belt would be nice. If we ever do hear a deal with SMR and any of those, you know, mega, CapEx, mega spenders there, that would be really nice. There, yeah, but other than that, I'm just reading it.
I think even I would go so far as to say that any deal, like Constellation, like anybody gets a big deal from the hyperscalers and the SMR can rally.
I think is one of the best.
Yeah, Constellation is one of the big ones. Constellation, Vistra, and GE Vernova, like even those guys getting more solid deals.
So they more build the data centers?
Yes.
You're right.
No, but I think it's just, it's any positive news is what I'm trying to get at. It doesn't need to be SMR specific, right? Like just, it's enough rising tide to lift all ships. You just want to see that everyone's still in build out mode. Because it's not, it's about what's going to happen for these guys in a year, not what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be what's going to happen for them this year. I think it's what's going to happen for them in the upcoming years. So you just want to see that the train is still moving out of the station with SMR.
Is that down, GE Vernova? I want that to come down a little bit more.
Yeah, and I'm going to pull, I haven't done it yet, but I am going to pull the trigger on a trail. I think if this loses 625, I'm getting out of 10% of GE Vernova. It's been a good run, but I would say it's been an unexpected kind of run. Like I didn't really think, look, most charts that look like this, anybody that tells you when they own something that they thought it was going to do this on a weekly chart, like whatever. No, I did not think it was going to move like that. I thought SMR could move like that, not GE Vernova. I think it's a little bit overbaked here, and it seems like it's making a topping tail on the weekly. That should be confirmed obviously tomorrow's Friday, so I'm thinking this is a trail underneath
chanting Eli Lilly
that weekly.
Make sure you guys get in the chat so we
Lily's
can see.
moving too?
Yeah, so there it goes. Yes, sir. Okay, well.
Get it, Lily.
We'll say that was a temporary good idea to buy $10 lower, but this is a $650 name. Like a $10 move is nothing. So yeah, it's something in our world, but not in the investment world really on a name like this. But yeah, nice move there. Trying to get to view up. 650 is view up clean. Maybe you get a 650 break. I mean, I've got news in my ear right now. If anything does break on anything, actually I don't have it. It was muted, so now I've got it back. If there's anything sort of breaking here, the conference call's done, the story's done with Eli Lilly there. The drug, I guess, the pill was only 11% or so of body weight when they were looking for 15. So that sort of sent this name a little bit to the downside, as expected. When this is the rub with any of these stocks, right? Whenever you come out and you have a trial or any sort of thing that people are looking at the eventual end results and those numbers, if you do miss it, it's not going to be great. I kind of like Merck. I think Merck has a decent pipeline. I mean, down into here, they're holding the $77, $78 mark. And again, look at what Merck has been doing there this whole time. It has not been well received and trying to find a bottom. So I was talking about it earlier on in the year. I haven't done anything with this in a very, very long time, but XBI, I think you get a little bit of them all. And, this biotech ETF right here has done quite well to come back, but it's come back in from a lot. The first area that we were looking at this thing was 100, or maybe it was $90. Was it 100? No, 100 doesn't seem like good enough. It must have been down into here, maybe into 90. I'm just thinking about when I bought this thing. I would not have bought this coming back into 100. I feel like it would have been
it was
9.
This year, it wasn't last year. It was this year.
Right, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So I think it was into here around $90, thinking that this might have been, So if I zoom back out, so this makes sense.
That's like way last year.
Yeah, it would have been like this into here. So the beginning of this year, made some moves into XBI there. We were able to buy some down into here. We don't get the very low. We're into here somewhere 75s or so. Maybe it might have been even this little dip area there, 80. Anyways, either way, we're going to be out of this, but you're still bumping your head around the 50 period and the 200, and it just looks like it wants to get going one way or the other. And to me, this actually looks like it wants to break lower. So this 200 period moving average on a daily chart, you want to stay above that before you can really start recommending buys. And not great. It feels like it's catching literally a falling knife. This was when RFK, there was a talk again, Moderna. I mean, you can look at Moderna's stock. That's going to be a piece of this as well as that continues to go down. I mean, the guy literally is, I don't know too much. I know both of his kids are vaccinated, but he's recently talked down the effectiveness of mRNA vaccines and things like that. So again, not being a doctor and not having too much skin in this game, I think that it's a problem, especially in the current administration. So I don't know if I like biotech names. You can also get involved. And you guys let me know in the chat right now if there's a biotech that maybe is a little bit better. Some of the ones that you may want to do, oncology, things like that, cancer-related drugs, but vaccines and working on that kind. I mean, yeah, you have Viking up there, but mRNA, just to have a quick look at how badly that name's been beat up. I mean, this was like a $300 or $400 name, I feel like, at one point during COVID. But anyways, yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be in textbooks.
What? I mean, this has been, this is actually, Neil, a lot worse than I thought. I didn't even realize
this is going to be in textbooks about
there it is, 175.
Like the COVID high.
This was not even that long ago. This was May of,
what?
May of 24, we were 180?
That's what I'm saying. Like that is.
Okay, so in 1 year.
It came back to life.
Yeah, you're down $160.
Like Pfizer, when Pfizer died off COVID, it just died. What was crazy about Moderna is while Pfizer just died, Moderna. Oh, sorry, I have Viking. Yeah, keep on that chart. Thank you. I thought you went to my chart. I have something else up. No, like Moderna tried again and then died again, which is almost. Sometimes it's almost worse because it traps like a second round. Whereas like if it's just downward trending, it's so much easier to get away from something if it never breaks the trend and just keeps on going down.
They down 0.46.
And I'll give an example.
Bye Marvell, hopefully.
Viking. Which, look, it held the 50-period moving average and broke away. So I think like last week we mentioned that I started nibbling into this when it finally got back above the 50-period moving average and held. It has a chance to break the 200-period moving average. Now, that said, I feel like the only reason it's up is not a reason that I like. And that's because somehow everyone's taking this Eli Lilly thing on their oral, which again, they're ahead of these guys by a couple of years, but they're taking the bad, quote unquote, bad results. I'm using air quotes, it's my opinion, the bad results with their oral as good for their competitors. I don't see how it's that good when these guys are behind them. And on top of that, Viking just flat out isn't big enough and doesn't have enough money on their own to fully roll this out, even when they get their oral through. So like they'd have to partner with somebody, raise more cash, get bought out, which is kind of what I'm looking for, ideally in this trade. If it loses the 50 period, I want to get out because I think their best bet is to get bought out, in my opinion. And if that's the case, you don't want to hold on to it forever. I can't say too much is happening right now in the market, and we've seen this. Look, we know the afternoons in August. That's how it's always been. Although statistically, when we started trading, August was easily the worst month in terms of volume and volatility. That's not actually true anymore. I believe in recent years that moved to like February because we've had a few good Augusts.
Okay.
And so February tends to not be as good. So if you only think of it that way.
Thing is, with that guy dancing around like that, man, every single month.
Exactly.
That's the other thing.
That's what I was going to say. Like, you never know anymore.
Yeah,
you can always have excitement.
I was going to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt, but I was going to say that, like, now with all the algos and all the games that are always played, and like sometimes it's meme time, and sometimes it's, we get these crazy earnings and things that happen out of nowhere. So just like you always got to be prepared, and that's why we come in every single day, and you can find us here live every single day, bringing you guys hopefully everything that you guys need. All right, Marvell. Yeah, we'll just go sirens, keep you up a little bit, as Neil said. It's 3:20 already. So we have just a bunch of outs here, and look, I'll try a little short again if it comes back up into here, but we're just getting lighter on this. Doesn't really look like it wants to go. I wish this thing would tank and we could have like a decent win for you guys here, but I'm not in the business to impress anybody or anything like that. If it goes down, we're here. If it goes up, we have our stop, and that's what we're trying to do right now with Marvell. So hopefully that will come back in a little bit. I'm just, this is the E-signal hot rate right now. A little bit distracted. All these coaches I have two assistant coaches on the girls team. I can't make it tomorrow. We have a practice again tomorrow night, so they're running by all these
drills.
Yeah, that's literally what they're doing. Yeah, so he says, let me know if we should work on anything else. This is what I think we should work on. This is my coach, Mark, says this. Batting the most. He says partner throws. We always do that to warm up. Stretching. Basic base running, yes. So this pisses me off when they don't run as fast to first. They don't run as hard. So
and they don't run through the bag?
They don't run through the bag. Yeah, look, they're 11 and 12 and they're still doing that.
I know, like here's my biggest beef on the base running. It's when there's not a reasonable play at first. So what they'll do is they'll run and they jump onto the bag in excitement. It's like,
okay, wow.
Look, and I'm just like, I want you to, look, I know there's not a play, but you've got to have that Mamba mentality. I don't say Mamba mentality because they don't really know Kobe, but you say you've got to practice like you play.
They probably know who Hulk Hogan is.
Maybe they do. Yep. A couple, Aaron does. My daughter knows about wrestling. I don't know about the others. They also
that was just something from them.
No, but you've got to take it seriously so that when there is a play, you're accustomed to running through the bag. That's what you're supposed to do. Run hard every single. I was always I was always raised, and every coach I was blessed to always have good coaches. I think it's like, look, run out every single ground ball. You absolutely never. You just don't know. Like you don't want to. Hey, look, I'm not going to. Just don't be the Yankees. I'll leave it at that. Don't be the Yankees because they all the
started,
time.
Man. I just
absolutely terrible. Very quickly, I got one scalp trade out when we bounced on Nvidia, but now it's flushing back in. So you know where my stop is going to be almost every single time. I'm not going to differentiate from that. It continues to go to the downside. Looks like there is nothing left. Someone asked me my opinion on brief opinion on Intel. So this is as brief as I can get. It stinks.
Yes.
So
what does that meme from? Which one was
it's
that?
The Critic. I forget the guy's name. It was a cartoon. There's a comedian.
Family? That's a Family Guy?
I don't remember the comedian's name, but he had a brief show called The Critic, and that's all I remember. Anyway, let's go to Adara. I gotta remember. John Lovitz. Thank you in
John
the chat.
Lovitz.
John Lovitz.
Yeah, great guy. He's Canadian, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Second City and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, John Lovitz. That's who it was. Yeah.
John Lovitz is actually hilarious. I saw him. I heard him on a Bill Burr podcast like maybe a year ago or something like that. The back and forth between those two. Very, very funny guy, John Lovitz, for sure. All right, yeah, that's the ticket. Okay, let's go back. Was that a call? All right, A? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, things are rough for Intel when, as I showed an infographic earlier today, the two interim CEOs that took over from about December to March, they actually had a better stock performance than Lip Bhutan has had so far for INTC. So rough look. That being said, let's talk about these expected moves for tonight for earnings, because it's another pretty good round. Shocking, probably not too many people. SOUN, the largest expected move tonight, by a decent margin, 16% expected move. There are a lot, though, in the double digits. Pinterest, Twilio, The Trade Desk, and Atlassian, or TEAM, all expecting here a more than 10% move. So is XYZ, or Block Inc. So lots of earnings excitement. If you want to see these earnings, check this out on X at TTV Research. And this handy guide will give you a little bit of a sense of when things are going to report, how much they'll move. And make sure to watch the aftermarket show with Sean and myself, that market recap, for all of your breaking news updates with regards to these reports. Back to you.
So shout out to Pug Life.
Yeah, before.
Pug Life goes, where is it? Hey, now some of us work at Intel and may get offended. LOL. I don't know. Like, do you actually, look, you can be joking around. This is YouTube. Do you actually work at Intel? I'm just curious. And if you, and in all honesty.
Wow, Neil, how dare you say such bad things about people's employment?
Man, I still have some shares of the stock. I'm genuinely curious what like the inside thoughts are with regard to their current production issues. Like you probably, you know what, you can't say it is what it is, but if you do want to, feel free. You probably can't say, and it speaks for itself. But Adara, when she had that infographic, which I don't think she flashed for long enough. I know you flashed it. I know, but I'm just gonna leave it up for a quick little second. Some of the timing of how different CEOs do has to do with how the market is doing. That being said, it really does stand out that it wasn't too bad with the intern CEOs when they just didn't make a pick. It's been a rough ride. My only question is...
Isn't that amazing that Intel was up just as much in those 3 months as it was between May of 05 and May of 13? This guy, Paolo Tellini?
Yeah.
Look at that. Down. That's for 8 years.
8 years.
Stock sat there, and it was some of the best years in the market.
05 to 13,
crazy.
Which is crazy.
Nvidia probably went from $2 to like $1,000 during that time.
Yeah, like it's because that's the thing. Like what you need to always look at is how that CEO performed, probably against like the SMH or something like that, which would be certainly helpful.
There's benchmarks.
There's benchmarks. But at the same time, like I'm no longer sure what gets this going again, because it was supposed to be this push back into foundry, and then eventually they would catch up in terms of advanced chips, and like neither one of those things seem to be working out right now. And with TSM pushing production into the U.S., so they don't have any issues, and Samsung pushing some production into the U.S., so neither one of them is going to effectively get punked with these new tariffs. Like, where does it leave Intel? And all that the CHIP Act money that everyone thought not all that even went out, and you had a bunch of I mean, I don't know how many elected officials there were, but certainly there were multiple elected officials who were like, why are we giving money to a failing company like Intel and subsidizing them, which is pretty valid. Like, I get it, you want production at home, right? But if you're subsidizing failing company is the wrong word. If you're subsidizing a company that's falling behind, why are you doing so? You should be trying to back your best, and it is what it is. I'm not sure anymore what gets us going outside of the low that's in right now at about $18.50. I think that's your cover, is that it's not breaking lower for a while, and as long as it continues to bounce, it gives you something to work off of. But why you don't want to be comparing this to a Lucid chart. This is what, like, I've said this about Lucid. You've been able to get away like gangbusters just buying this company at $2. But that's not the comparison you want to make with Intel. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be looking for actual growth instead of just hoping it does a small cap bounce.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, there's a little talk on Intel there. I mean, we could probably go for that for a while, as we do. But just to talk a little bit about trading again here, we'll go Yahoo stock. Yeah, so there it goes, man. It's 20 cents. It's not anything other than a trade. And as many of you have pointed out before, or at least one person did there when they were talking about the Fly IPO, and it was that, you know, there's certain trades here that work for prop floors and certain trades that work for swing trades or long-term trades or whatever. And then just right here, for me right now, this trade on Marvell, I'm scalping it out. I hope I made it clear on what my intentions were on this trade, and it just continues to be the same thing. So there it is, man. We just got a 26 fill there on Marvell for 20 cents. So just into that level. We're getting lighter and lighter on this stock as the day goes. So yeah, pretty happy with this, just sort of topping it off. I wish there was a little bit more movement, but you know, as we had mentioned before, you can't get blood from a stone, at least the stones I know. And right now, there's not much going on in this market at all. If anything, we were talking about potentially fading the market, which is what we did by choosing Marvell. I mean, there might have been a better short with Nvidia or something like that, but again, yeah, I guess so, just because it's so much more violent. We would have about $1 if we shorted the same time. We shorted Nvidia rather than Marvell. So that's a little bit of something there as we'll look forward to potentially another trade there. As we go, though, let's just wait to see if Marvell wants to go lower. Remember where our stop is. It's come all the way back up. We're almost out of this name now. Yeah, so base running to first. Make them stop with midway as if they're rounding. I think that's a good drill. Okay, so we talked about that. Oh, the quick hands, that's a thing for me for sure. Sometimes you drop the ball, quickly pick it up, things like that. Getting comfortable getting the glove from the ball to the hand. Clockwise, counterclockwise, throwing around the bases. Yeah, that's okay. Work on 6-4-3, 5-4-3 double plays. Okay. We make a couple double plays every now and then, but it has to be right.
Do you have them throw around after
strikeouts?
After an out.
After an out,
we don't engage. We did that. We started doing that at practice.
Yes.
Because what we'll do is, if we're doing a practice and then we have base runners, we're practicing fielding. We'll have actual runners. Like so, no one's hitting, but they're just doing. People are running around. So you have someone to throw out. It's just a little bit better for practice. If they get somebody out, I'm like, throw it around the infield. like the pros do. Like, you wouldn't do it. We don't do that at a game because it's whatever. It's lower level.
On
ball.
Strikeouts, they throw it down to third and they do that whole thing. But that's good. Yeah, we could do. I think we might do it.
It gets one of those like you're essentially it's that thing in baseball where it's like the team did something good, let everyone touch the ball.
Right.
And I always love that. And we have them cheering everybody else when you have to bat. You're cheering your teammates and that stuff, which I think is fantastic. I wanted to get to this super chat. Look, I don't know Sezzle very well. I don't really know Sezzle. Look, I don't know Sezzle at all. Sezzle Fielder? Sezzle Fielder we know, but Sezzle. I'm calling Sezzle S-E-Z-L. So Charles McIver asking about this one, much appreciated. They're up for earnings as well tonight. What my first question would be, it's always like, what are you looking for here? Because if I'm inclined to say that if I had bought the dip here, let's just imagine, I'm guessing you buy it when it quadunks and then on volume picks up here. I would 100 million% if I was a swing trader buyer after stock doesn't move like this and I buy it anywhere in this move, if it breaks down on earnings here, I'm for sure taking it out. That's just 100% how I roll. Lose the 50 period after failing to get to the 200 when you get a nice little bounce play. That's what I would be doing with it. I have no idea what you want me to look at with this stock, but like I don't try to hit home runs. Like the only sort of swing trade I did like this was probably too long ago on snow that I don't know if it's gonna show up or show up at all. If the chart even wants to load here on Snowflake, I should have just gone right to eSignal. On a weekly, yeah, it's just easier to go over to Snowflake on a weekly. Like when this broke, there's your downtrend. It finally came back. It failed at 240. It came back underneath. I think I got out somewhere in like the 190 range. It ended up bouncing again and doing the same move. But like if I take a shot at something off of the lows, the second it shows me failure that we're not following through, I'm like, yeah, forget about it. I get out of it. So going into earnings. That would be my take on Sezzle for sure. We're going to go up to the desk. Adair's got news.
Keep an eye here on the market. We actually do have a potential nominee for the new Fed board position. It's not been official yet, but I'm seeing a lot of reports here circulating. The White House is going to be nominating this individual, Stephen Moran. Now, he would not be nominated for the Fed chair position, but he could be nominated to replace outgoing Fed Governor Adriana Kugler. That would take place, I guess, immediately. We know Trump indicated he'd like to announce a replacement for Kugler by the end of this week. Now, this individual, Stephen Moran, for a bit of pedigree, I actually mentioned a quote that he made earlier today where he said that Waller is the only person in the Fed not suffering from, quote, tariff derangement syndrome. So we know where he stands on rate cuts, i.e. he wants them. It's worth noting, apparently he's not really being viewed as a replacement for Powell. He's only really viewed as a short-term replacement to fill the Kugler seat. That will be then, I guess, emptied again in January 2026, which is when Kugler's position was set to end. I also want to let you guys know he's currently serving as the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors, so he's already connected to the White House in that regard. Again, this is not official, it's just a report, but he's likely not going to have a huge impact. He's going to serve for maybe 6 months. Back to you.
I was curious, so I immediately started looking him up as well. He was pretty critical of essentially the stimulus during COVID. So that's also very interesting. So I think that might give you a little bit of a hint as to what you might be getting with the Fed. Because if you weren't behind all that stimulus, if you're getting someone along those veins and we go into a recession, I think again, he's not going to be the Fed chair, so maybe it doesn't matter all that much, but certainly you're getting a different potential look with the Fed. I think that could be interesting for us. How that bodes for something like rates going forward. At this point, it's a done deal in September. It's the odds are saying it's a done deal in September. That's a better way to put it. I should hit the refresh, but it was at 91% before. Let me just double check. Again, like I said, I'm going to hit refresh because still 91%. It's a done deal. At this point, the market is saying that we're going to get something. Those labor numbers that we got, too much of a shock, forcing the hand. It would be, political opinions aside, it would just be weird if after all that weakness in the labor market, they didn't move to lower rates. It's like, well, then what are you looking for? You can't say you're data dependent and then have that kind of weakness show up in the labor market and completely ignore it. So I feel like that's what the market's pricing in. That said, as a trader, sometimes it's nice when you get a surprise. I don't know that this is a surprise we want, not getting a cut in September. I'll just leave it at that. That's a surprise we do not want to have. Oh, look, Troy in the chat saying CPI could change that. It's possible. I'm going to bank on that being relatively stable enough. Right now, I've been saying for a while, I think the labor market's going to determine the next move more than anything else, and I kind of still believe that. So anything can happen. I don't necessarily agree CPI is going to move it, but it's certainly possible, and that's the fun of these things. For sure, that you can have pretty much any opinion you want, but ultimately you got to watch out for what's going to happen with the IWM. Like we had this week, more than 1/3 of the Russell reported or reports, because the week isn't over. Like 37% of the Russell reports this week, and we've seen a lot of volatility around this. The Russell instantly bouncing. The second those rate hike odds went up, clean bouncing off. The 200 period, the 50 period, support at $215. And so as long as that stays higher and nothing really changes course, and it hasn't been that great today as the market's going to the downside, but I think this is one sector to watch for that breakout. And also, let's say, imagine if I'm dead wrong and CPI is something, and we actually get a print on CPI that lowers those odds back again, this might be the first place you look for a short. Because a lot of that bounce really just, the second those odds went up, IWM was like, whoops, we're bouncing. That's how it's going to play. These companies, if you're a small cap company, of course, you're a little bit more rate sensitive. I think we all understand that. So yeah, you got to watch out for the IWM. Still can't seem to break out though. I don't know what's going to take it to the next level because the one cut might not even do it. Your water?
I went and got a water and then, did I not bring it back? I was talking to somebody in the lunchroom. I might have left it there. Okay.
Every time someone says water, I just need to...
Yeah, who knows? Okay, so it looks like the chips are running right now. So it's a good thing that we took some of these out and we talked about it as we were doing it. So far, so good there. We did just get punched into AMD. I should have done a better job of sort of watching out for this. I'm just going to, it's not a big position, but I'm just going to get out. I don't want to risk anything here. I did like this break right there long. There it is. I left it right on top of the water, right?
On top of the water bottle? Oh,
yeah, on top of the water.
The cooler. That's
the cooler.
I do that. Yeah, I do that a lot. I used to leave it.
Silly me.
I used to leave it when there was a desk on the bridge. Like I'd walk and I'd leave it at that desk to go talk to the guys or whatever, and then I'd come back and there'd be like 3 bottles by the end of the day. And I'm like, and they're always mine. Tesla breaking through the volume weighted average price. Oh, it's 330, past 330. Early looks.
Yeah,
just in case. What do we have here? CX, RLX, only 2 names over 1 million shares on the early look, and I don't know CEMEX, RLX. Yeah, these aren't big ones. TSLZ, for what it's worth, is a buy of 700,000. So kind of a nothing burger on the early look for the imbalances there. Nothing at all.
So I just want to explain to everybody there. So I had a stop order in for AMD, and I was like, if we wind up breaking that level there, you know, we've made all of our money today on AMD. I mean, sure, Palantir is good. Obviously, Marvell, we just started putting that on. Disney, we could talk about that. That was not good, and I had no problem talking about it. And we will do that maybe after this. But there's the break rate there for AMD. But again, with only 10 minutes left until imbalances, I was a little silly getting into that, so I'm gonna sneeze, and I punched out of that immediately. Just if you don't like a trade, even if you purposely took it, like this is not a fat finger or anything like that, just punch out immediately. You gotta have, we talk about that all the time.
If it looks wrong. Someone, who was it? Shoot, Yannick? I think it was Yannick in the chat, was talking about this. They had an order to take the fly long. Yeah. It was out there. Like they were going to take the long, and then just what they saw, whether with the imbalances, just the book that you can look at the book as it's about to getting closer to open, didn't like the liquidity and pulled the order. So like you can.
And that's exactly what we just.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you just, something about it doesn't look right. You just don't have to do it. Like I might look any IPO. If all of a sudden you look at the book and it's like it might open the next 10, 15 minutes. Let's just say it's getting close to 1 o'clock, whatever it might be, and you're like, man, this looks like, where's all those big bids that are supposed to be there? You can just decide that doesn't look right, and if it wins, it wins. Or if it would have won, that's fine. Like you're not married to no position is a position all the time. I was so happy to have seen that Yannick said that, because a lot of times you just locked into, I'm going to do this, especially a gimmicky trade like the IPO trade. Yeah, I'm just going to take it. The other thing you should consider, sometimes it doesn't work out, is you can just lower size. On CoreWeave, I think it was CoreWeave. I think I lowered, based on what it was looking at, I lowered my size like 4 times. Ultimately, it was the wrong decision to have done so, but that's fine. Figma, on the other hand, looked great the whole way, and I might have lowered it once, but when it was over like $100 to tap, and then brought it back once it was back under. But at the end of the day, I think you have to have some kind of an ebb and a flow with reaction to the market. You were saying the chips are going up. Nvidia is exactly where it was when I got out.
No, they're not. I mean, I'm just punching it out of AMD. It's going the other way.
I was going to say that if they are, they're doing it without Nvidia. Because Nvidia is exactly where it was. The market's bouncing. Nvidia is exactly where it was when I punched out at 179.
Randy is gone right now, Hypercube, unfortunately. The fact Randy will never pretty much be here past 2 o'clock.
He's got
but I'm sure the boss around here also wants a camera on Randy all the time to see exactly what he's doing. But yeah, shout out to
cameras everywhere.
Shout out to Randy.
But he has a big commute, so he tends to.
Yeah,
he's here early and he gets out of here.
Yeah, sure, he's all that. Yeah, shout out to you guys wanting to know the best of Randy. Yeah, someone there in the chat. What's up to Bobby Hill? Yeah, what kind of pizza do I like?
Bobby Hill.
You know, a great pizza is pear and prosciutto, but that's might be a little bit next level. I kind of like it simple. I'm liking more now. Like we've had. Have you ever had like a Thai pizza before?
Yeah,
you get like
actually,
the sweet, like the.
No, I never made
chicken.
it myself, but
yeah,
I ordered it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Those kind of things, you know, like I said, anything with a prosciutto on it.
But if you do homemade pizza, what do you make?
I like to put on black olives. Right, Ramin?
Olives, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man.
My daughter. My daughter only.
I feel like I'm most connected. I mean, me and Ramin, I think we have a lot of similar likes and dislikes around here. We both hate people. No, just joking. Only I do. But no, yeah. So I like barbecue sauce a little bit on some pizza.
That'll work.
But yeah, like this is Luca used to like something very similar to me. He likes sopressata.
Hot sopressata.
Yeah, with an olive a little bit on there. Yeah, that kind of stuff. A good cheese goes a long way, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I just like to keep it simple. But yeah, making it at home. We'll generally, Marissa will buy a bacon and we'll sort of cook up a bacon, slice it up, put it on there. You got that going on. You got again without olives. I really like olives. In case anyone's guessed on that one. Mushrooms.
That's a good. Yeah,
like I could go with basically any meat, a mushroom and an olive.
Yeah,
Fabian, get over here. I want to ask
That's
you
an absolute standard, but I love the hot topper salad. My daughter won't touch that stuff though.
Fabian, give me. I want to know. I want to know what the Ute these days, which is what you are, youth.
Do I count?
Yeah.
I'm nearly 30.
You're almost 30 years old.
Yeah, I'm 28.
That's not nearly 30, my guy. You got a lot more time to go on that one. So, all right, almost young enough to be my kid. What do you prefer on your pizza?
I love a good pepperoni, mushrooms, maybe some chicken. That's about it.
Pepperoni, mushroom, and chicken?
Yeah, those are my go-to.
Okay, that's an interesting combo. I don't mind the chicken.
But I do like Hawaiian. I do appreciate it. It's more of like refreshing,
Invented
sweetness.
in Canada.
It's different. It's, but it's not my
Greek
go-to.
guy.
I'll eat it, but it's not my go-to.
No. Yeah. Okay.
See, I cannot say anything.
And then for you, what about you guys? Or not? What would you have? Not what you make at home.
Damn sure not pepperoni. I'll tell you that much. No, sort of pineapple.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, but actually, no. If we're making at home, then it's straight up pepperoni because it's for my daughter. So we'll usually pepperoni, bacon, and then she does like green. She has green olives. I like both.
Green olives.
I use both, but she will only eat green olives. So that's what we'll do when we're making a pizza at home. But if
at least she's eating olives, man. That's like a win.
But if I'm ordering, I love like sun-dried tomatoes.
Yes, that's a good one.
That's one thing. I'm a big fan of sun-dried tomatoes on there, for sure. And Pug Life, no. Pineapple, absolutely not. I don't like what it might have been invented in Canada, but you don't have to like everything. That's the thing. It's something for everybody. But for everybody, we have a dare at the desk.
So Steve Moran here, as I mentioned, that is the leader of the Council of Economic Advisors.
Heard of this guy.
Donald Trump has just announced that he will be the new member of the Federal Reserve, replacing Adriana Kugler. So this was reported about 20 minutes ago before Trump confirmed it. But Stephen Moran, that individual I showed on screen about 10, 20 minutes ago, will now be a member of the Federal Reserve until January 31st, 2026. So serving the exact same amount of position that Adriana Kugler would have served because her position was set to end at that time. He did say as well that they're going to continue to search for a permanent replacement to take over when Adriana Kugler's position would end at the end of January 26. So yeah, good look there for, I guess, Stephen Moran. We'll see how this impacts the Fed. I want to mention as well, keep an eye on these banks. We do have Donald Trump signing some executive orders with regards to the spending of taxpayer dollars and also making sure that federal regulators don't promote policies and practices that allow financial institutions to deny or restrict services to any group. So interesting look here, but I think most of note, the fact that we do have a new Fed board member, at least temporarily, Stephen Moran. Back to you.
I know how that all went. It was like, okay, well, you pretty much agree with anything I have to say. The guy goes, yes. The guy's like, but are you afraid that no one's ever heard of you? No. Yeah, and then it's just like, okay, so there it goes. And, again, it's not, no conspiracy theory or anything like that, but when you're able to nominate
but that's, look, man, it's not political. Those nominations are partisan. You're going to, because
right,
why wouldn't they, who would have that power and not use it in that way? Like, it's just, of course, it's gonna line. What I kind of take away from this is there was so much talk about potentially whomever got this nomination would at least be in the running for the chair nomination.
Okay.
This seems like that's not the case because I seriously I would doubt that it's a person we wouldn't all know off the top of our heads. Yeah, which he's not. So I don't think this is remotely someone that's going to be at the chair position, but it does give another voice that's aligned with the president's views. There's only 2 minutes till the imbalances roll in. Last look at the early look imbalances, not much of anything. I'm going to throw Fly up there. Fly is still holding that same level at the bottom. Wow, it's sometimes what happens on day one, so the early look imbalances, there's nothing. Imbalances in a couple of minutes. Sometimes what happens is the underwriters do not want it, like whether it's the open price or if it ever gets to the issue price or just whatever the low is, they don't want it breaking the low at the end of the day. And I don't wonder if they didn't do a good job defending this. And if that's the case, maybe that bid's not there tomorrow at 61 on Fly, if you look at my chart. So the buy that's in here, if they just hold it not making a fresh low, tomorrow, if it's underneath that at the open, it could be a short. We have to pay for locates here at Real Trading. They're generally pretty cheap. They're actually cheaper than they used to be. I feel like when we used to pay for locates on IPOs, like years back, it was much better than like whatever the 2-3 cents per share that we're paying now. I feel like it used to actually cost, and you'd think twice about paying it. Now you don't. It's like, am I going to trade the stock today? If answer yes, doesn't even matter if I'm only going long. I'm going to pay for the short anyways because it doesn't cost anything. Like it's costing you a couple bucks if you get 100 shares. It's like, okay, I'm pretty sure it used to cost you more than that. Like we're to the point where you're like, I better actually want to short this.
Yeah, it definitely got a little bit cheaper. We asked some questions about SOUN. SOUN is reporting after hours. We do have the imbalances in only 20 seconds. The problem with SOUN again is they're just the intense competition. I mean, they rely on partner deployment and development or implementation of their voice AI software. And now you have major competitors like Amazon and Microsoft and all these guys sort of pounding at that market. Okay, here we go. I'm not into anything, but let's just see what happens. The imbalances are now out. Looks like we got an Intel sell of 1.8 million. That's not going to do anything. It's a 115 million so far in balance, so not really doing too much there. Tesla was there.
That's Paramount's
Tesla's a buy, so there it is, man. It's battling with that 320. And it's got no problems hitting that level, as that's going to go right there to the upside now with 1 million share on the buy side. IQ is nothing. Amazon right there, 800,000 to buy. That's trying to get back to Greensville. Oh, the market's green again. Yeah. We like to see that one right there. Nvidia now something, but there's nothing on here. These are all minimal, right? And so Apple is not going to do anything with that move. Apple is kind of disappointing to me actually all day, where Apple just kind of sat here and didn't do anything. But all right, there's really no path to profitability for SOUN. They still are looking for a -5 cents. For me, I don't want to invest in anything that's not EPS positive as an investment. Maybe as a swing, as we've talked about 14 to 15% short float could wind up being something and hitting this name. So if you were looking for negative spin on it, maybe I was looking at its high stock valuation based on no EPS, but that hasn't really stopped stocks in the past. If you're looking for some bull reasons here, again, potential announcement like they had with Nvidia, partnership deals for SOUN. It's not the easiest place to get into when you're talking about making models, voice models and all that, and training that. So, customer service, things like that, maybe they can get tied up with a company, but I don't know too much about SOUN, and we're going to find out with Adair and I at 4:15 what those numbers look like, expecting an EPS of just 5 cents. And just the way it's come back in, could be some kind of value play into here as it keeps on. The lows are getting higher, so that's always nice. So you got a low right there of $6, then again of 7, and then I guess right there is held at 9, and right now we just bounced off 10. So the implied move though for SOUN, and I know Adara has that wicked graphic, but it's 15. Oh, I should have.
I was gonna say 12. But.
Yeah, so good enough guess right there, 15 to 16% right there for SOUN. So it's just a $10 name. So we'll look for a $2 move or so on SOUN. That's probably the one that has a lot of interest. There's a lot of retail names or retail traders in that one. RKLB, another one. Rocket Lab has had a huge move up, and we're going to see if it can hold its value there as well. Again, you want to guess this?
Hey, you think someone was selling today in front of earnings? Look at the same line of resistance the entire day on that stock.
Here, 44.
Yeah, somebody was selling shares. Rocket Lab, I'll go more than 12. Let's go 16%.
12%.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so you were right there. You had it.
I got to say this. If this move in Bitcoin has anything to do with this new Fed member, then I like him.
Hello.
I have absolutely no idea if this has anything to do, but Bitcoin, it probably doesn't, let's be real. No, Bitcoin on volume, breaking out and heading higher. Let's go to Adair and see what's going on, but we like it.
So Donald Trump signed that executive order that Bloomberg had reported he was going to sign earlier. This is basically going to be easing the path for private assets in 401ks. That includes alternative assets. So this confirmation, sending this to the upside, certainly keep an eye on that. Also, guys, I just want to let you know as well, this is going to be up on X very shortly. I've already added Stephen Moran to my giant Fed roster, so you're going to be able to check that out on X at TTV Research once I post it. He will be temporarily filling the position vacated by Adriana Kugler. Back to you.
He's already on the board.
Temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily.
That's fine,
Well, we'll see, and we'll see. But yeah, well, that's not news we want. We knew this was happening, so if it's just putting pen to paper that we knew was going to happen already, that's a little bit less exciting, and it's already starting to pull back over there on Bitcoin. Let's see what's happening in, well, there's nothing really in a minute to reverse on the imbalances with nothing really big. But Coinbase, yeah, that didn't really even do anything.
Wow. Uber is the one to talk about right
Uber?
now. I don't know if there's any news on this one, but this has just absolutely
Get it, Uber.
skyrocketed. I'm actually going to be covering some of my Uber. I am way long this name in the 60s. And we talked about it. This is not something where we just bring up all the time. If you guys watch the show, I talked many times about this Uber. And it's actually this is when I bought it right here when I was in London last summer, and I came back and bought the stock. So, and we were already long, but I added to it because I was really impressed there with the Uber boats up and down the Thames River. So that was really nice. But 64, 65 bucks. So yeah, back in here, I felt bad that we had missed that top, and then we had sort of double topped again here at 92, 93. So Uber with a nice move up. We'll wait to see, what the news is on it. We're not just going to necessarily jump right in. So Darren's not really seeing anything, so we'll hold off on that. And I'm going to just load something up here so I can talk to you quickly about Trade the Pool. So you've seen Trade the Pool with us many times. Now you get to scan that QR code and get a free ebook. They've created it just for you. It's featuring now 4 proven swing trading strategies, proven, Neil, swing trading strategies from Trade the Pool's top funded traders. Inside you'll see, maybe it's that Vicente guy, maybe you'll see exactly how they approach the markets and how they manage risk. So, what setups they look for, how you can learn to grow. And look, whether or not you're a swing trader or not, I do think it's a great idea to download these things, have a look, get the more information, download it now, scan that QR code on your screen, or check our link in description. And there it is, the swing. I actually like that. I didn't even notice that, the swing code. So go grab it. Yeah, go grab it. It's a great name right there. Unleash the swing trade in you with Trade the Pool and the swing code. You want another one there, Anish? You got it, man. Another one. You said you want another one for Palantir.
Another one.
Yeah, look, love the name, man. I mean, look at this long that we had right there off the open. He is off the open, but we traded it, let it battle itself back down. Silly to have not reloaded that. I don't know what we were doing there, but yeah, good move there for Palantir off the jump. We tried it right here at 180. It failed. We got some out, then it failed, so flat trade right there, but nice move off the open there, off 180, and there goes Palantir. A name that I haven't gotten any out of on the upside. I said I would look to do some of that, and I did not. So we'll wait to see if we are lucky enough to get get a little bit out there of Palantir at some point. Hopefully we're able to do that. But yeah, Palantir, a nice move up to 183 again. Again, if you like the stock, you're with me on that one. We really do like it. I have an offer still at 195. Hopefully that can fill. That was off earnings, and earnings was great, up to 170, and now we're up to 182, 183.50, or 184.50, sorry, the high of the day. So I never thought that when we were buying this thing on its direct listed price of 10, 11 bucks, I think it was either 920 or 1120. That I think it was 920, that we were going to see 190 in this name just a few years later. But Palantir, just one of those names. We've talked about it before. Quantum names have also flew through. There's been many, many names, but Palantir there now 6 or 7 quarters of
but
EPS.
Actually making money.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I think it's
EPS growth.
Look, I like the moves in the quantum stocks. You can't complain about it. Like QBTS was a $1 stock that's now
it's 20
going nuts.
17.
But their revenues, we were joking about it. If you look at their revenues, an average baseball player makes more money. Maybe not an average baseball player, but like an average level of player is probably the best way to think about it. Like some dude that you don't know on your own team, that guy makes more money than QBTS has in revenue in the year.
Right.
And that kind of says something. It's a very different story. Palantir crossed the billion mark, the $1 billion mark. So it's just, yeah, percent moves can be the same, but it's not the same thing. CoreWeave is temporarily done going down. 10% today on CoreWeave. This stock has been flushing for a while. This is a clean trend break on CoreWeave. We mentioned it. I know we mentioned it yesterday, and it didn't end up breaking that. Like, it never broke out on the trend line yesterday. That's what happens. It's testing the trend line. The day it breaks the trend line, it doesn't break out. You don't look at it the day after. The day after is when it goes. And so it was the day after that it finally made the break. But this could be a nice continuation long tomorrow. Only about a minute to go here, everybody.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
There was nothing on the, like I said, there was nothing on the locator that mattered. For a brief second, you would have seen Paramount Skyworks, which is now, that's the merger that happened. So that's what P-Sky was. But that's paired off. Kenview's in there, but nothing really too crazy at the end of the day here. Oh, that fly, it did break the low of the day and then came right back. So it is just barely trying to hold on to closing at the lows. I know it says up 34%. That's because they reference it to the issue price, which was at 45 bucks. But like if you bought it at any point today, outside of 2 seconds ago, you're out of the money. But if you bought it just now, congratulations, you're in the money by a couple of pennies. So Sky, not a very successful trading IPO, but I'm sure they're happy. They're probably happy with the money that they raised. I would assume so. Not necessarily the best first day for them. Let's get on over to Adair. We got the closing bell brought to you by Beta Pro. Shout out to them and their triple leverage ETFs for savvy Canadian investors. Let's ring it in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. I don't even know who was running through. Is that, Fabian running through, darting through like an absolute ninja. Fantastic day today, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Lots to go over, of course, and then we still have lots of earnings tonight, pretty much now. And whether it's reviewing trades, whether it's going through live earnings, the only place where you're gonna find it is right here at Trader TV Live. It's your market recap show. Sean, Adara, a whole host of earnings as well. Go get them. It starts now.
Adara and I just talking. Hey, everybody. Just went over here real quick. What's up? What's up to Adara? What's up, everybody? Yeah, good show. Thank Neil for throwing it back over here. Now we talk about earnings, and we were just talking. Adara and I were just talking about fly and how wild that was. Yeah. Not a fly trade for me. We lost 75 cents on that one, but I know it was a good one for many, especially if you're playing off some key levels. So we'll look at that. We'll talk some Figma maybe as we go. But for right now, we're looking for Trade Desk. We've got a bunch of names that we're looking at right now. Trade Desk, Gilead, Pinterest coming through, Block coming through tonight. Clean Spark, Twilio, Take Two. Take Two, Fabian. You know, well, let's see what happens with that one as we wait for Grand Theft Auto. Oh, Expedia. Why? I didn't notice that one on the list today. Expedia now reporting. Let's go see if EXPE, what they have right now. So there's Expedia Group. Wow, nice move higher. Wow, there it goes right now for Expedia up to 191 and change. We have a 1-minute chart here, so you're going to be able to watch out what's going on with Expedia. I'll put this up right here. This is going to show you the extended hours change. I actually don't think that that's, oh, there it is right now. Now up 2%. So there goes Expedia, 191.30. A little bit of a better play there. I guess the market cap's not that huge for Expedia, but nice move. Now trying to pull back in. They're trying to do it okay. Right there, 194. I've used Expedia before. I don't mind it. Nice, easy app to use. Expedia, the first name out there. We wait for XYZ. Of course, that's going to be Block shares. We're going to wait to see what that comes up with very, very soon. We're looking for a number out of Block, and that number would be 68 cents if that can come through. We talked about MP Materials. That should be a good one as well as, MP Materials, right. This name, very, very government related. We've seen some big bumps up for MP, so they're coming through soon too. They're actually not making money. They're looking for minus 19 cents there.
I have Salesforce News, but I don't have Expedia.
Okay, we're looking for SoundHound as well. There it goes, man. We talked about the bull case for Sound a little bit here. Let's see if that goes out. That is now out. It looks like SOUN right now. I mean, we can talk about the Salesforce if you want to. It's not doing anything.
I also have TDD as well. So Salesforce just acquiring a company apparently. The company's called Y.
The Trade Desk is getting.
Let's talk about TDD because I do have those numbers, Sean.
Yeah.
Q2 revenue, $694 million, beating estimates of $685.3 million. GAAP earnings of 18 cents per share. Net income, $90. Pre-tax profit, this might be the issue, Sean, $133.2 million versus estimates of $197.3 million. Their adjusted earnings did beat estimates, 41 cents versus 40 cents expected, but the pre-tax profit, not necessarily a great look for TTD. If I see any other numbers, I will let, I just saw Expedia numbers. That's a double beat here. Q2 adjusted earnings of $4.24 per share, well above estimates of $3.90. Sales, $3.786 billion versus $3.701 billion expected.
Okay, so good. Yeah, the Trade Desk right now, right there. Nice move if you're short on the trade desk, now giving up 27% right here. Points, former Salesforce board member, Alex Kayal as new CFO. So maybe their CFO is gone right now. No, their current CFO transitioning to a non-executive officer, I'm seeing. So maybe that's part of the problem here if your CFO is kind of stepping aside. We'll see if there's any problems here with TDD. XYZ is now out. Block now comes through right now with their report. We might get a fail on Block right now to the downside. They're adjusting EPS of 62 cents. We talked about what they were waiting for, that 68 or 69. But there it goes. Okay, now we're starting to go up to the upside. Now going right back down. Wow, we get excited for no reason there. Block goes up to 80, now back to 76. This is a wild one here in the after hours. But yeah, the trade desk revenue beats, but I guess they don't like that CFO leave. We'll get more information on that one. SoundHound, do you have those yet, Adair? Because
SoundHound's 410, I thought.
Yeah, I didn't think it was out yet, but we did go from 1080 up to 1120. Not out yet. We'll wait to hear. I thought maybe Nvidia might have pulled some of their investment in SoundHound, so we'll wait.
That was a while back.
That was a while back, so we'll wait to see if there is an increased investment from somebody in SoundHound. I hope so for the longs. I mean, we talked about it, just a voice over AI and things like that. Not great. XYZ, they're just hearing that they are expecting an acceleration of growth. So there it goes. Okay, so now Block, XYZ finally starting to get that bump up. We'll have those numbers momentarily when we get them. But right now, Block, nice little move to the upside. I do want to mention.
CLSK just popped. Yeah.
I do want to mention everybody. We do have the chat going, so I'm looking at there all the time, man. I see you guys want to know about CLSK. Pinterest as well. It should be a good one. Dara's got Block, so let's go get that Block party.
Q2 adjusted earnings missing estimates 62 cents versus 69 cents expected. That is a miss. Cash out profits $1.5 billion. Square GPV there is going to be $64.25 billion, and their fiscal 2025 gross profit guidance, $10.17 billion. They're expecting a 19% growth here for the end of the fiscal year. It looks like. What else do we have? Expedia guidance better than expected for Q3. I don't have any other new numbers yet here. But yeah, I don't have anything on CLSK guys yet.
I don't think Pinterest is out. I think Pinterest has a good opportunity. We did see some good, obviously some good flow-through numbers from Reddit, some good numbers from Meta as far as social media and these websites that base their sales per click and things like that. So we'll wait to see if Pinterest gets going. I'm not sure that's out yet. We are waiting for NewScale, of course, which is SMR right now floating around. That's only 1% right now. So those numbers I do not expect to be out. But it's XYZ is holding for today. That is a bang, the bang, 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 as Adair and I go through the stock blitz. There it is, man. We're blitzing right now. $85 goes XYZ. What goes bump in the night? It's XYZ. PayPal, see if they're feeling any of this. No, they are not. PayPal flat in the aftermarket. I don't know why we still compare both of them when they're much different at this point, but there goes XYZ up to $85. We'll see if that can go. There it is. We got a nice little super chat. I don't know what DOPs are, but we'll take 500 of those any day. Thank you so much. Any news or muse on Sizzle?
They're reporting today.
Yeah, so we'll get that. Adair's on top of that if and when we get that. LYV, Live Nation, also reporting right now as well. Revenues of 7, estimate of 6.8, so they'll beat their Live Nation and Ticketmaster. Man, those prices that these guys continue to charge every single day when you buy a ticket is absolutely ridiculous, some of those fees. I think for the Oasis concert, it was like $500 a ticket, and it was like 100 and something in Ticketmaster fees. I don't even understand what's going on there. All right, we'll still wait for MP Materials. Soon. It doesn't look like they're out yet, guys. SoundHound is what we're waiting for as well. When that comes out, right now there's SoundHound. Maybe they're out now, Adair, because we aren't getting
like no numbers.
Yeah, still seeing no numbers on Sound. Again, we are expecting 410 for that. If and when we get it, we'll get that going as well. Rocket Labs. I'm just going nuts here with all these names. I'm going to try to go over as many as possible. They're not out yet. XPE, Expedia kicked it off this morning or this afternoon in the after show with a big beat. So there goes Expedia. They're up 14%. So congratulations on anybody that's got Expedia. Yesterday's play, or the 2 days ago, we had Oscar Health. We really like that one. They closed out today around 5:15:20. We're long this name at 1360. We bought that live on the show. All right, now SoundHound now up 8% and still going. Seems like they're going to be out very, very soon. Does anybody use GoDaddy? GoDaddy right now, EPS of 141, beating 139, sales beating as well. GoDaddy, someone over there likes it. The market don't like it. Nice downside move there, but not much today. Block is now off the highs of the day. Adair, if you have anything.
Yeah, I have CleanSpark.
Okay,
so,
go with CLSK.
CLSK, I accidentally pulled out the wrong one. Okay, these keep moving, so give me a second to get the CleanSpark numbers out. And now my whole, thank you, Benzinga. Give me a moment, guys. Sorry about that. Things have, there we go. Things have vanished on me, but they're back. So CleanSpark, let's talk about CLSK. This is, of course, a crypto-related play, doing quite nicely here off of earnings, and they did have a double beat. Q3 earnings of 78 cents per share, well above estimates of 10 cents per share. Sales, also a beat, 198.644 million versus 191.548 million expected. I forgot to mention Trump is expected to talk at some point right now, too. So I'll let you know when that happens. That's going to be at 4 p.m. But knowing Trump, even though he calls Powell too late, he himself is often late. So we're going to be patient. Stone Coast, some people were asking about, that's a
STNE.
Yeah, that is going to be a sales STNE.
Yep.
So that was a sales miss there and an EPS beat. They're kind of choppy. Someone was asking about it. I thought I'd mention it. I'm not seeing anything else of note for us right now, though, Sean.
Yeah, people want to know how many more days I have left off. A few. So get ready for. I didn't take like a big time off yet this year. So I've only been here for 25 years. So I have a couple in the bank. That's for sure. Okay, so we'll watch out for that. XYZ looks like they're going to be the big winner here today at Dara. So I'm just going to quickly talk about them. MNST Monster Beverages. I'm so used to MNST Monster Beverage. MSTR is like whenever I have a 4.
I can't type Microsoft because of MSTR. I always
right, and so look at this, what's happening right now. We take a look at that. MNST, Monster Beverages, earnings of 50 cents, so that's outpacing the expectation. Ooh. They're right back to this level of $65. If you're in this, there it is. They just beat by 2 cents there.
Get it, Monster.
MSTR, yeah, get it. Monster Beverages right there. But yeah, it is XYZ starting to create this big movement here today. They did just pull back a little bit there for Square, but still up 8%. Probably the most widely held name out of all of this. We still wait. We don't have SoundHound yet, the numbers yet, but it does look like they're doing something right now, up 9% and starting to go. So I don't know if there's a whisper number out there or anything like that, but there goes SoundHound. And again, we talked about it. I'm waiting for them to announce some sort of a deal with somebody, and then we'll get that going. There's some acts. Hey, what's up? I have no idea your name, man, but what's up to Nitsubashi, whatever. Where's Pinterest? Yeah, when we get that, we're going to come up with that right away. I
haven't seen any numbers on it.
Yeah, once we finally get Pinterest. I know, yesterday's Blue Jay game was 20-1.
I saw
for the
that.
Jays
I think I saw it on your X, actually.
Oh, yeah, I think, did I post it? I just, yeah. So over there, I just posted that on X. I was like, what the? Yeah, so it doesn't look like Pinterest is out yet again. So once it does come out of there, we will obviously review that. I feel like today, if we're looking at what's been reported there, the trade desk was the biggest disaster. They're down right now 27%. TTD, just not a great number being posted there. Actually, I thought the number was actually okay for TTD. They came in with revenue expectation beat, 717 versus 714 right there as well. Their adjusted EPS was 41 cents in line, but I'm guessing the guide wasn't that great, but I don't really see anything on the guide.
TDD?
And they do announce—
The guide was in line.
Okay, and they do announce a new CFO. So for me, it's like, if that's really what the news is here on the trade desk, I don't mind the business. It was actually working out pretty well. This is a 600-minute chart just so we can get a better look. It just goes back to April. But if we're just going to look at it daily for the trade desk, again, it's had violent moves before, right? This was actually an earnings play that they went down from $130 all the way back into 84, and we've been able to sort of bounce back off of that. But today it runs right into its 200-period moving average on the daily there at $89. So now you're all the way back down to 65 for TTTD, so not really that great. Real just reported right now. They just reported a better than expected loss. So they reported 6 cents versus 8 cents again. I believe this is used like a pawn shop, Real. So there it is, man, Real, starting to go back to the upside right now. And yeah, when you're shopping at a pawn shop, you do hope that there is real good stuff there. Yeah, it's higher end stuff. So yeah, not just selling like, fake whatever, Lulu or whatever they sell there. Although you don't really need to fake Lulu. Maybe it was Prada or something like that. Randy? No, he's not back right now. Yeah, so we can have a quick little look. I mean, Adair's going to go over everything.
Card. People want to talk about card. I can talk about card. I have those numbers, and I don't have numbers on a lot of things, so let's talk about it. Earnings of 41 cents per share, just missing estimates of 42 cents per share. Revenue, $914 million versus $896.5 million expected. That is a beat. It's up 11% year over year. Adjusted EBITDA also up 26% on a year over year basis, and it's also above estimates. Gross margin actually a little bit lower than estimates, though, 74% versus 76.1% expected. Their adjusted EBITDA guide for Q3 beat estimates, as did their GTV guide for Q3. I don't have any revenue or EPS guide for next quarter.
Okay, good. Thanks, Adair, for all of that. Today we had a little bit of a sort of topsy-turvy. Once we get SOUN, you know, Adair, we're all over this, man. As soon as we get it. Real is actually going, man. 740 at the high. What in the... I don't know, man. Up 30%. Right now for the real, it must have the real good stuff over there. Crocs, I don't know if we didn't talk about this. It wasn't on our watch list. There was not much talk about Crocs today, but look at this move. Downside for Crocs, down 30%. Today and not well received. More inventory, stacks of inventory, more than expected. We've seen that with Nike, unable to get rid of some of the product that they've sold. And again, you know, when you don't make in the United States and you got to ship back, you have tariff worries. Not a great guide either for Crocs. Come to the chart here. Nice downside play. We'll go look at it on a daily chart right here on the bottom for Crocs. And there it is right there. Well destructed now on Crocs to the downside. We'll wait to see if that 75 can hold, but a day two play, maybe more short coming for Crocs. I just want to look quickly at the stock heat map to see what was going through today. We didn't have a great moment for finance today. JP Morgan down 1.5%, Visa down 2.5%. Berkshire continues to not be able to find its footing. That's down 1.6% today as well. But I don't see much to cheer about here in financials. And I'm not really sure why those have been downside. We did get some negative talk yesterday. Donald Trump, or a couple days ago, was talking about this name right here, BAC and JP Morgan.
Yeah, and how they wouldn't let him bank.
And that they had done him dirty right there. I think those are similar to his words.
Interview.
Yeah, isn't every interview? Capital One there, a Kramer fave, that's down 2.63% as well. So that goes to the downside. So, but you know, what leads every single day? It just seems like the big boys, right? I mean, there's Nvidia, there's Apple, 3%. I thought Apple would be more than that today, and they didn't do too much. Broadcom as well. Honeywell, again, more in manufacturing, their downside. Honeywell might be worth picking up on any weakness as well. And then Intel, poor Lip Bhutan gets thrown under the bus today by President Trump, and we're not really sure why, other than his connections with China, which we sort of knew beforehand.
Did you hear what I said during the midday?
No.
Based on the timing, and I didn't see this myself, someone on X actually pointed this out, who's like, I guess, a journalist, but so Trump posted that on Truth literally 5 minutes after Fox News covered the story, and he used basically the same wording as the Fox News story, to the point where he didn't even really know Lip Bhutan's name. So basically, it seems like he heard something on the news, and he was like, I'm going to post this on Truth. So that's kind of the vibe.
I actually joked about that when I came in, and we had a note on it, and I said, there's no way Trump knows this guy's name.
He doesn't, and I don't think he really knew the story either. But like, we've seen this happen in the past as well. Like there's an odd, you know, consistency with the timing of a Fox story, and then Trump posting about it in almost the same words.
Yeah, there was something, I thought the Fox News was also sort of talking something about the tariffs and just how, and then Trump came in and said that he was watching news earlier that day, and that was the day that he came in and said everybody needs to just kind of relax. Or I don't forget the words that he had said there, that it was being overplayed on some of the major news sources, and then the stock market kind of went to the upside there. So, hey, look, I mean, you know, I'm not, regardless, you know, the president's not, I guess, not supposed to be mulling in the stock market, but maybe they are, or he or she is, and, you know, we're going to wait to see if the market can, again, regain all-time highs. And I think we're very close to that right now. Nasdaq winds up positive today. I mean, just to talk about what the Nasdaq has been doing, here's the triple Qs right here on E-signal as you continue to sort of climb higher. This is a daily chart right here, and you know, you're moments away from a new all-time high. Nvidia earnings 2 weeks yesterday, so we're going to come in not next Wednesday, the Wednesday following, we'll have Nvidia earnings, and we'll see if that can continue the upside play. I mean, it's Microsoft, it's big names that continue to hold forward here in the market. Microsoft has had a pullback since their earnings report, but again, 520, like if we're playing anything, this might be a decent pullback. We've seen Amazon get to its 200 period and then battle back as well. There's Amazon dipping off of that, now battling back. We saw Google go for its own little run as well earlier on this year. right here to the downside down into 140, then had a problem breaking, and then finally when we did, there it goes back there to the upside. So you just want some of these to get figured out and then upside. I think there's a lot of money and a lot more runway for a lot of these names, but XYZ continues to go higher. If you have those numbers, we can review those as well.
It's weird how I'm not getting numbers for like a lot of these names, and no one on X has them.
Really?
I don't have them for like Benzinga. Like, guys, this is really, really bizarre, because usually I would have on at least one platform. I have them on neither. I will talk about XYZ because I have those. They actually missed on EPS, guys, 62 cents per share versus 68 cents expected, as I mentioned earlier. Sales, oh, I hear Trump in my ear, so I guess that talk's gonna start soon. Okay. Sales, $6.054 billion, also missing $6.249 billion expected. So that's a double miss for XYZ. And I don't have any other numbers we really wanted, guys.
Do we know what Trump is talking about, or is it just open mic? Oh, the economy. So this should be juicy. All right.
And that's all I have.
Yeah.
Oh, no, actually, it's supposed to be honoring Purple Heart recipients, but then the White House also said he's going to talk about the economy. So I don't know if he's talking about the economy now or at some point, but right now he is ostensibly honoring recipients of Purple Hearts and possibly talking about,
Thank you very much, Dara.
The economy. Thank you, Trump.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you for that, Adara. And yeah, so we have some questions about Atlassian right here. Team is the symbol.
I don't have that.
We don't have them yet. I don't have them yet either. They're not here on the Benzinga Pro platform. So yeah, we'll give you all these when they come out. It does look like it did get an early spike up to 180 and then back in. Today's percentage change down 8% on Team. We'll wait to see there.
I think
looks
I have Team.
It's within risk of breaking a lot lower right now into 178. I mean, this is a $320 name. Its 52-week high was 326. That's been chopped in half almost. So we'll get those numbers. I just got Team right now myself as well, Adara. 98 versus 86. Did you want to review them? Because
yeah, it's the same numbers you have there. 98 cents versus 86 cents expected. Then sales there of 1.348 billion versus. Sorry, 1.384 billion versus 1.357 billion expected. I'm sorry, guys, I do not have pins. I don't know why I said cat. I don't have pins. I do not have MP.
You don't have Caterpillar? What that?
I mean, yeah, they already reported. Yeah. And someone asked about Reddit earnings. They don't report tonight, guys. They actually reported last week. But if I do have any more of these numbers that people are looking for, of course, I'll let you guys know. I do apologize. And I don't even, like, these are just popping up on X now. I saw, like, TEAM. You saw, Sean and I saw it at the same time. So for whatever reason, they're not disseminating at the rate they usually do. And that's X and Benzinga.
Yeah, and we also don't have... I'm waiting for this one. I'm pretty excited about Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I want to see about the money that Take-Two has spent into this name. They spent billions, apparently, into this name. It's been 13 years, or I don't know how long. It's been since Grand Theft Auto 5. I guess this is GTA 6. Over 10 years right there. So let's see if we get an update on them.
It's been like 12.
Yeah, 12 or so years. Oh, I was pretty close with it. Yeah, they're still getting ready for that. But I think that's going to be a huge game. Obviously, that's not rocket science, but we'll wait to see what happens with Take-Two Interactive. It's not out yet. I always thought that they were a potential buyout candidate, but I don't think anybody's going to buy them out, 8 months out of this game coming through. I mean, they should not accept a buyout, because if the game's absolutely huge, then hopefully there's some payday right there. It's not really moving around. It's up 3% here. I have it marked down at 405 for these earnings, and we don't have those yet. Same as... Excuse me, I just chugged that water. Same as Pinterest as well. We don't have anything out on this yet, but this to me looks like it's out, but we don't have the numbers to give to you yet. But the Trade Desk did report, and they're losing their CFO. So I don't know exactly if that's part of it, because everything we've seen. Oh my God, we had Wynn Resorts today too, Adara.
Yeah.
All right, so there goes Wynn Resorts, short $1.09 versus $1.20 right now. Revenue ahead, but miss on earnings for Wynn Resorts. They've had a nice move up. This is a name. There you go. Now Pinterest, we're getting them right here. I'm hearing them in my ear that they may now be out. So a nice little spike up to 40. Here you go. 33 versus 35, so a little lower on the EPS now for pins if you guys are listening to it. So there it goes, the downside. We just reported that it was at $39. Now it's at 37. There it goes, 37.50. Wow, man, we just broke that for you right here. We gave you that before this move. Now we're gonna find out what's going on with Pinterest. Looks like it's a downside play now, 37.20 now for Pinterest. Nice move to the downside. Apparently, yeah, Adara's gonna get those numbers, but MP right now as well.
Everything coming out now.
Everything coming out now for some reason. There might have been a problem with the reporting today. I don't know. Dropbox is now out. MP is now out. They're up 6%. Adair, dealer's choice. What do you want to talk about?
Let's start with pins. Yeah, they beat on revenue, as you mentioned. They didn't miss on EPS, though, 33 cents versus 35 cents expected. Global monthly active users beating estimates, 378 million versus 352.8 million dollars. Revenue guidance, 1.03 billion to 1.05 billion versus estimates of 1.03 billion. So slight beat, mostly in line. Their adjusted EBITDA guidance for Q3 was also in line. Let's talk now about TWLO, and then we'll do MP. Where is Twilio? These are moving so fast I can't even grab the stories. There we go. I got him. It's like a Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Q2 adjusted earnings, $1.19 per share versus $1.05 expected. That's a beat. Twilio also beat on sales, $1.228 billion versus $1.188 billion expected. And let's talk about MP quickly, Sean, if you do not mind.
Yeah, go.
MP, double beat here. Smaller than expected loss per share. They reported losses of 13 cents per share versus estimates of an 18-cent per share loss there. So good look. Sales, $57.393 million versus $46.307 million expected. MP popping higher on that double beat. We had Gilead too. Someone was asking about JFrog earlier, so I'm going to do that for that viewer. FROG, 18 cents per share earnings versus 16 expected. That's a beat. Sales, $127.22 million versus $122.75 million expected. Double beat for FROG.
Okay, so yeah, MP, again, going higher right now. I'm going to actually call up a 30-second chart for everybody so we get a little bit more detail on that one.
Rocket Lab.
There it goes. Yeah, okay, so RKLB now out as well. They're just telling me here. So we'll see what's going on with Rocket Lab right now. Pretty flat on that initial move. Did SMR come out and unexpectedly? Okay, oh no. Right now down 5% right here for SMR NewScale. Not well received over the last little while. NewScale had those highs in and around $54, $55, as you can see right down here. Now you're starting to fade a little bit here on SMR for NewScale. So I want to pick up some on weakness, but that weakness has to fall at least into this $30 mark where we were back in June. So again, nice little move down there for SMR on the daily, but yeah, not great there. 22 for not 22, I just saw that in the chat. SMR right now, $42. That's where it looks like it wants to bounce off of right there for SMR. So basically, just to review, Trade Desk bad right now, down 29%, trying to kick near the bottoms now, $61, $62, not good, giving it all back and actually going back again to May levels for the Trade Desk. Some of the beats today, we'll go with XYZ, of course, Block. That's a big one, man. I think there's a lot of traders that might be in this name, especially after their recent inclusion into the S&P 500. So there goes, was it S&P or Nasdaq for Block?
Block, SPY. They're not even on the Nasdaq.
Yeah, I got one right.
From a trading perspective.
Right there, yeah. Financials, they're not going to add that too much to the Nasdaq.
Well, they're also an NYSE name. That's what I mean. They can't be added to the Nasdaq because they're NYSE.
Oh, yeah,
like
that's
their
right.
ticker, yeah.
.NY.
Huh. It's
because
weird,
Palantir moved from New York to Nasdaq.
So did Shopify, and then they both got added to the Nasdaq.
That's a smart play, actually. So that could be something else that XYZ
I did an
could do.
infographic on that once, actually.
Yeah, that is what XYZ could actually do there. Good point. Okay, SoundHound was also going to the upside a lot. It's pulled back a little bit. You're only up 4% right now on SoundHound, so 1170 was its most recent high. You know, you're still trying to, this is again an 800-minute chart, not necessarily, not a daily at all. But right here, SoundHound, you know, looking to get above that 13 would be nice. It's not doing too much. Kind of plain, to be honest with you. So that SoundHound up 4%. XYZ up 12%, MP now up 12%, so that's going to be a good one. Those are a lot of the winners there today. Pins was heading southbound, that was down 13%, now down 10%. Nice little bounce off, $32. Again, the 200 period moving average, $32 back into play. June lows, $32. Looks like you want to say something.
Yeah, Rocket Lab just broke down. Sorry, I just want to mention this. Yep. Also, Trump's whole announcement seemed to just be so he could show off his chart showing that, yes, the BLS numbers were rigged. He answered like 2 questions, and then the lady was like, thank you, press, thank you, press, thank you, press, kicked everybody out, and then the screen went like black. So honestly, one of the more bizarre press conferences I've ever seen from Trump. But regardless, Rocket Labs missing here on earnings, larger than expected loss. 13 cents per share versus 11 cents per share expected. Sales, $144.498 million, beating estimates of $134.532 million. But Sean, they did actually miss their product revenue estimates, apparently. So mixed look. Q3 sales guide mixed here as well, kind of midpoint, $145 million to $155 million versus $148.899 million expected. Let's talk here about TTWO, Take-Two Interactive. They reported here sales of Q1 sales of $1.423 billion, beating estimates of $1.307 billion. I had more numbers here somewhere. If I can find them, oh, I don't know where they went. There they are. So the Q1 revenue in general, as we said, they actually beat net bookings 1.42 billion. That's where the sales number comes from. Net loss here, $11.9 million. That comes to a loss of 7 cents per share. They're guiding Q2 revenue between $1.65 billion to $1.7 billion. They're guiding their net bookings between $1.7 billion and $1.75 billion. And they're guiding losses of 60 to 75 cents per share. Not seeing how that guidance compares to estimates. And thank you to Long This for the $5 super chat about RKLB. Just went over those earnings. Sorry, guys, it's been a little bit of a wild ride. For whatever reason, I think a lot of these reports were released late. And it's not a matter of being distributed late because I didn't see them on any platform I used. So really weird look, but we're always here for you guys through the thick and the thin and the wild west of these markets.
Hey there. If anything, it made people stay longer. So we'll take it.
Look at that.
We'll look at that. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. People asking about USAR, probably just shrapnel from MP. I mean, they're up 3% right now. USAR, again, rare earth play, similar to MP. So MP with the move higher. USAR also up that 2%. So that would make sense. Here's MP right here, right now. We want to thank everybody for joining us again. I think we just reviewed pretty much every single name that we had on our docket today into the close. SoundHound? So yeah, SoundHound's out right now. I actually just called it up. It looks like it's only just moving around 4%. It did have a nice move upside, and we did talk about it up to $13. I don't know if we actually have those numbers or anything yet.
I was just wondering because I have not.
I'll search for it as well. SoundHound. No, I don't have those yet either. So again, just looking forward. A lot of these numbers will come out, and again, we talked about the valuation. Valuation only seems to matter when you miss, right? When you beat, then it justifies some of those, guides and some of those raises and people paying more for it because, hey, quite frankly, you're beating the street and you're going higher on that. When you're a name like RKLB or SoundHound or some of these other high PE names, maybe even like a TTD, and you wind up coming out and missing, then you're going to get punished for that because then they're going to say that the valuation is a problem. And it is a problem when you miss. You got to hit your numbers and you got to guide properly. And if you don't do that, that's really hit the market quite well moving forward. And I just think we saw that with Eli Lilly today. Mm-hmm. Although Eli Lilly, let me just see, didn't it sort of get bumped up?
Not really.
Not really. It's still down there, 14%. Yeah, $644. It did make. I was going to say, did it eventually break 650? But it didn't. Got back to 649. Closes the day at 644. I'm willing to bet this is higher tomorrow. We'll wait to see if that does come into play. But Take Two, we already reviewed that. Anything you want to talk about before we go? Because it's 4:31.
I think today was wild. I think tomorrow will continue to be pretty wild. There's lots of day 2 earnings plays. There's some day 1 earnings plays, of course, as well. And what I think that's been great about this earnings season last week was a lot of big tech. This week, it's kind of dealer's choice. You have smaller names. You have meme names. You have all of the above, a cornucopia of trade opportunities. So I do wish everybody the best of luck tomorrow, and we will see you there. But Sean will be enjoying his day off. So
Tomorrow we have day off. We're excited. We're going to get home tonight. We don't have much going on tonight. So what we were actually thinking about was a movie night because we haven't really been together as a family. We've been together as a family a lot. We've been traveling around. We all went to Ottawa. We all went to Boston, but there's things happening. So we hadn't sat down and watched a movie. What I was thinking about watching was there's a John Cena, Idris Elba called Head of State, I believe. It's on Amazon. So I was thinking about watching that, probably kid friendly. But me and you always have something fun to do.
I like that.
And today this is a movie, and it's your most recently watched one. Can you remember what that is?
I went to the movies over the weekend.
Perfect.
Superman.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
How was?
I actually really liked it. I'm a DC nerd. Like, this is the thing people don't expect about me. I'm not a Marvel nerd. I'm a huge DC nerd. I think generally they did a good job.
Okay.
James Gunn did some weird things. I'm like, I don't know why you did that. 100%, generally speaking, I really enjoyed the film.
Yeah, okay, good. I said that to Marissa. I was like, why don't we go to the movies? And I was going to recommend Superman.
There is some, potty mouth in that movie.
Potty mouth is fine.
But not as bad as,
You should hear my wife speak. Okay, right here, something I haven't done in a while. Let's do roll call. I want to thank my good friend CompuCare. He's like, yo, my guy, let's do some roll call. There it is right here. Hey, what's up, CompuCare team? You want, we can put it on the screen when you get a second there. Fabian, yeah, no rush. We'll just do this and then we'll get out of here. So there it is right there, CompuCare. Forgot about doing it the last couple of times, so shout out to this. We started the roll call. It's been taken over by Sharif, who does a wicked job at it. So shout out to everybody that continues to support the show. So let's do a roll call right now. All right, Gorev is here. What's up, Gorev? What's up, Bennett there? What's up, Donkey Trader? What's up, Marlon? What's up, Ron Miller is here as well. Adara's here, I just saw. What's up, Mike P. DeRida? We riding, baby. Damien as well. Seeking Alpha. Hojo. Mig Raj is here. Stock is here. Green Day's here. Pelican Man. Bob Knob. Bob Loblaw is here. Streamlabs. John, yeah, the owner of Loblaws is here. Bob Loblaw. Marty is here. Everybody. Dungeon. I can't keep track of all of this. But Adara, you're making me work past my time.
Yep.
You've got SoundHound.
I'm sorry.
So why don't we give the people what they want?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What's SoundHound got up to?
Let's make some sound for Hound. Losses of 3 cents per share, better than the expected loss of 9 cents per share. They also beat on sales, 42.683 million versus the estimates of 32.883 million. I'm guessing the sound that the SoundHound Bulls will be making tomorrow is buy, because it's actually a pretty good looking stock.
Right. Let's get this out of here and yeet this thing like we've never done anything before. And we will see everybody tomorrow. I will see everybody on Monday, but again, Obi will be in for me, which is absolutely fantastic. We love some Obi. We love Neil on the show. And I asked Joe, Sharif, everybody here, Fabian here tomorrow, I hope. No. Well, congratulations, Fabian. You got your day off as well. So Andre, Ramin, I'm assuming that will be here. Thank you to Mark, and thank you to everybody in the background, Rob, and everybody that's been helping us build this wicked studio that is about to hopefully blow everybody, including our minds. Yeah. We don't know exactly how this is
Obi just hopped in the chat. That's
oh, God.
wild.
What's up, Obi?
Hello.
Is that Obi?
Oh, boy.
Oh, there he is. Okay, he's in there tomorrow. Obi, thank you so much for covering and everything. And yeah, he's preparing right now.
Oh,
so we're getting ready for that tomorrow. Maybe some Amazon, maybe some Figma. Who knows what this guy's going to be trading. But we do know that we're live tomorrow at 8:30. So Adara, let's go. Thank you so much for joining one more time today. I'm joining her. She's not joining me. Thank you again. I'm Sean. This is Adara. Ciao. Till next time.
See y'all.